Executives View, the sports podcast where the stakes are high and the debates are fierce. Please welcome your host, Aaron Sirius Simmons, alongside co-host Barry DeVille Jordan. Each week, we bring you into the boardroom where the elite minds of sports converge. From the gridiron strategies to the business behind the ball, we tackle the hard-hitting questions and give you an insider's perspective. So pull up a chair and join us at the table where champions are made and legends are born. This is the Executives View. Let's get down to business.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Executives View. This is the view from on top, man. You could be anywhere in the world on a Tuesday night, but you're here with the executives, and I do appreciate that. You guys know how I get down. If you see the show, share the show. We're all over the place. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Spotify. We're doing big things in big places, and definitely want to take everybody along for the journey. Running a little bit of short-handed, man. I got the three-man weave working today, man. Villain still can't talk. Steve got some minutes to take care of. So it's the fellas here in the building, man. What's going on, CK? How we doing, sir?
All right, man. Steve ducking me on NCAA. If Barry's mom, Mama Jordan, just know that your son made a bet with me about your potato salad. So if in April he comes ask you make him some potato salad out the blue, it's because he lost the bet. And if Barry's sister's watching, how you doing?
No, we ain't doing this today. We ain't doing this today. We are not doing this today. Larry, what's going on, my guy? How we doing, sir?
Oh, man, I'm doing good, man. Over here trying to keep from having some heart palpitations over here and some, hey, look.
You watching the Rockets game, ain't you?
Man, look, they gonna have me joining y'all with the ball crew in a minute, man. Look, hey. I swear to God, if they don't drive me crazy by just the pure erraticness of how they playing, and let's just start the show, bro. Let's start the show.
I'm telling you again. I was watching it. I got it here on my screen, just peeking at it, but I hate to say I told you so. But damn it, I told you so.
We was in agreement on a few things, brother. So yeah.
All I know is, not being a Rockets fan, I suggested a couple of people to come there to be the adults in the room to help your team, and I got shouted down by the Rockets fans. I bet you'd love to have Jimmy Butler right about now.
No.
Yes, you would.
No, I wouldn't, because Jimmy Butler be ready to punch somebody in the face right about now.
Have you seen the Warriors with Jimmy Butler?
Yes.
Yeah.
He fits in that team.
Okay. He fits in. You have a sharpshooter and the name of Curry, who was kind of
shooter. His name is Reed Shepard. Keep going.
Dude, I'm gonna just put it like this, bro.
Did he really say that?
No, we're gonna do this. No, we're going to do this.
Let's go. Let's work.
Shooter named Reed Shepard.
No, we don't.
A star named Jason Green. We are going to
have that. We have that. We have a star
needed was somebody to close out games. I watched the game y'all gave up a 50 piece to SGA. You had chances to win that game, okay? And you were relying on Cam. Is it Whitaker or Whitmore?
Whitmore.
Cam Whitmore, who honestly will be built for the moment in about a year or two, but wasn't that night. Jimmy Butler is built for those moments. Y'all could have won that game. Y'all should have won that game because y'all got it down to within 4 points with 2.5 minutes to go. If you'd had a Jimmy Butler, you win that game.
No, we don't.
Oh my God.
No, we don't.
Yes,
because here's the thing: we have lost 7, 8, 9 games that I can pull off top of my head just on dumb shit alone.
Because you don't have an adult in the room.
And Jimmy Butler with this young ass team is going to be the adult in the room. No way in the world.
Engage Jimmy Butler. Engage Jimmy Butler trying to prove something. Yes.
Wait, Chandler.
Next year, right? When Jimmy's comfortable and he's drinking his coffee and talking about, that Jimmy Butler, absolutely not. This
Chandler.
Jimmy Butler, the one that needs to prove something, yes.
No, Chandler, wait. Let me just stop right there. Jimmy Butler is Houston adjacent, and he already went on record. He don't like Houston, brother. So he would have been unhappy here. He would have been unhappy here, and he would have been doing dumb shit like he was doing in Miami.
Next year, yes. This season, because he wanted to get his bag, which he got from Golden State, right? But now he has to prove he earned it. So for this, and I was only talking about for this season, just this season, for the next 30 games and the playoffs, Jimmy Butler was what you needed. Now, next year, you ship it in the offseason, you ship his ass on out of there. What I was saying to y'all was for the 30 games left in the season, after the trade deadline, Jimmy Butler was what you needed.
But what do you get? What we would have gave up to get him? I wouldn't have been okay with it. I wouldn't have been okay because
I don't think we had to give up that much because listen, what did Golden State give up? Not much.
I mean, at the time we was talking about it,
they gave up Andrew Wiggins.
Okay, who they wanted to get rid of anyway.
They wanted to get rid of him anyway.
And a pick or something.
Yeah.
I think or something like that.
So y'all could have gave up some. Y'all could have given Jabari. What's his name that you hate?
Well, we hate that dude.
Yes. Oh, bro, don't get me started, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
Y'all been trying to get rid of that brother forever,
right? Y'all could have gave him up. I don't know who you got that's making big money. That's the only thing.
Yeah, the salaries got to match up, so we would have had to give him something.
I don't know who you got who's making big money.
Reed Shepard is such a big shooter that he shot 1 for 5 and only has 2 points.
Bro, Reed Shepard can shoot, bro. He's young.
Reed Shepard ain't been shooting all year, which is the part of the issue that we had. Listen to our Rocket show.
The other night, bro. The other night he was killing it.
Yeah, man. Did you watch the Rocket show like I told you to?
No, you never sent me the link.
I'll drop it in the inbox right now.
Yeah,
I will drop it in the inbox right now.
Show, bro.
Watch we educate the people on that shit. Anyways, wasn't expecting us to start off with mini lunch.
A whole lot of Jabari hate, bro. Hey.
Anywho, man. Anyway, we got a lot to talk about this evening, man. I wanted to get you guys in here. Again, NFL Combine has come and gone. Wanted to kind of start there, kind of see what you guys thought. Anybody pop? Some names or kind of been linked to some teams. Larry, where's your head at, bro?
I mean, I only caught like a couple of other things from the Combine because I honestly didn't see anybody that was like gonna impress me. I mean, I hate to say it like that. You know, of course, like Shador and Cam and all them, they were like, they not throwing, you know, and a lot of guys wasn't even really running the 40. And Bond, he was talking all that. Hey, Barry Mama not on tonight. We gonna talk, bro. Like I said the other day. Dude, Bond was talking all that shit. Oh, I'm about to break the record in the 40. This, bro, 4.5. Miss me with that, bro. You know, he just chirping.
4.1. That's did run a 4.41.
Yeah, but it was still like, yeah. I thought they officially they clocked him at like 4.5 or something like that. Yeah, but I'm like, dude, yeah, dude, you talking all that crap, talking about you gonna break the record and all this stuff. Try again. But I think the most frustrating thing that I was getting pissed off about was being CK was talking about the guy from A&M, and I'm like, this dude has 4 sacks. 4. And because they're like, oh, he's a freak athlete. Oh, he's gonna be a top 5 pick, and oh, he's working his way up into the top 10. 4 sacks.
Vernon Golston,
yep.
How many times have we saw guys who are freak athletes who cannot play football?
Yep.
How many times have we seen guys who are not freak athletes? And Chandler, you hit it on the head like a scatterboo. Not freak athletes, not the fastest guys, cannot be stopped on the field. And that's the part that I really kind of don't like about the Combine. The only reason why I was really more so liking like what Xavier Worthy ran last year, because Xavier Worthy, he does have wide receiver skills. He's not just a track guy. But even going into the season, you saw him struggling to learn how to run routes.
Right.
Because he was just faster than everybody else. It's a difference between being faster than everybody else than being how to run routes. Like, see, you're a little bit younger than me and CK, so I'm going to give you a little education, bro. Jerry Rice was not the fastest dude. Jerry Rice wasn't a freak athlete.
Nope.
But you know what Jerry Rice could do? Jerry Rice could run a route that you would never even know. His routes were so pinpoint. He was still 40 years old, still catching 80 catches and 1,200 yards. In the way the rules are set up right now, I am a firm believer.
Oh my
Jerry
God.
Rice would easily have 2,500 yards.
Oh my God. Jerry Rice would have 3,000.
3,000 yards. They would literally they would literally never know how to stop him because he literally ran his routes. That go back about 5 years ago, and you could see the flag football game that him and Joe Montana was playing, and he was still crisp. And this is the thing that I don't like about the combine. These guys, they get in there and they're like, oh my God, they have a 87-inch vertical and they can, run a 3 flat and all this stuff, but they don't have the football background to back up. And now you're gonna see some guys reaching for him. And this is the part that I really get pissed off about, and I'm gonna pass it to CK after that, right? Because you see these guys, they can't play football. They get these big, huge contracts because they're in the first round, second round. Meanwhile, these other guys got to prove themselves, which are proven players who can play, right? But then, like, say, for the Texans, you get a guy like Titus Howard, who was a quarterback that converted to a lineman, and he only played 1 year in a low-level line, real low level. And they're like, oh, but he's a freak athlete. He's this and this. We're going to draft him with, like, the 12th pick. Dude cannot block to save his life. The announcers literally be like, oh, we got this sliding protection to help him. Oh, this and this. You see CJ struggling because he can't. It's not just him, but it's Green too. But you see these guys who they should be in the 4th or 5th round for a reason, but because they are freak athletes, people start reaching for them. And I just don't. I've always been a fan that you don't have to be the fastest, quickest, all this to play the sport. You have to know how to play the sport. Tom Brady was nowhere near the fastest, didn't have the biggest arm, but he's going down as probably the best quarterback. Do you see these guys that come out and they're like the best of the best at their position? Like, I'm a huge Barry Sanders fan. Barry Sanders wasn't the fastest. He wasn't the biggest. He was a bit of maybe 5'8". Could not tackle the dude. Couldn't tackle the dude. The last true freak athlete that I saw that had crazy off the chart combine numbers and could play the game was Bo Jackson. That was the last guy that I've seen that could do both. So yeah, you got it, CK.
Yeah, I'd go LeVar Arrington, but he kept getting hurt.
Yeah.
No, he did, and I'm not knocking him because LeVar.
I mean, he came out of Penn State. I mean, he came out of Penn State, a freak of nature, but yeah, he can stay healthy.
Freakishly gifted. He couldn't. He had issues with his neck. It is what his genetics are genetics. I don't blame players. A lot of fans like to, oh, that guy's a bust. No, that guy's not a bust. He was drafted where he shouldn't have been drafted. Vernon Golston wasn't a bust because Vernon Golston didn't give his best effort. Vernon Golston was a bust because he never should have been drafted the way he was drafted. You understand what I'm saying? I don't watch the combine because it started in the 80s. But to me, it's always held connotations of the slave trade. Let's get all them up there so let's get them big buck mandingos up there and we can feel their arms and see legs and make them jump up and down and see how much they can lift. I think it's dehumanizing.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't like I can't really stand Emmanuel Acho for a lot of reasons as a human being. But one of the things he's always talked about was when he went to the combine and he talked to a general manager and they kept asking him to tell them something terrible about his life so they could feel like he would really want to play football. He's like, he came from a home with 2 parents who had degrees, high-level degrees. One was a PhD, one had a doctorate. Well, PhD is a doctorate. Educators, all that stuff. There was no violence. There was none of that. There was drugs in the home. He didn't go out there. He wasn't homeless. And the general manager told him, well, you won't work for us, but maybe you'll work for somebody else. Because his background wasn't terrible enough for them.
Mm-hmm.
Because, see, if you're black and you play football, you must come from a broken home. You must have sold drugs or had somebody in your family sell drugs. You must have been arrested or had somebody in your family been arrested. Then, oh, yeah, you can play football for us because you got that hunger.
Oh, your
So I
daddy
don't
played
like,
football.
I don't like the
Your
combine.
daddy was in the league, one of the two.
Yeah, I don't like the combine. But I look at players and I listen to what they say about certain players, like Cam Scattergood, who you mentioned. I think he's going to be the best running back in this draft. I think he is. But no one's talking about him because he's white. A white running back can't be good. I'm sorry. Mike Allstott, anybody? Christian McCaffrey, anybody? Oh, by the way, the reason Christian McCaffrey never got the credit he deserved was because he was white.
And went to Stanford.
Christian McCaffrey had been black. Let's we keep it a buck here. If Christian McCaffrey had been black, he would have had every commercial in the book that you could think of. Wingstop, Beats by Dre, you know what I'm saying? McDonald's, all those things where they like to put the black players in. Christian McCaffrey would have had all those commercials. He never got credit in Carolina because he was white. And seriously, we talked about this years ago.
Oh yeah. We talked about it a while.
I'll go even further. Cooper for the Eagles. He probably would have been a top 3 pick.
Cooper DeJean?
Bro, his name is DeJean. Everybody thought he was like DeJean Cooper. He got to be black. He got to be from the Highlands. Yeah. Wagwan, man. Wagwan. Yo, he white.
Yeah.
All right.
Nope. He got to fall. He got to fall down.
You know what I'm saying?
No, from right Eagles left. Eagles scooped him up, and now he's a Super Bowl champion, man.
But and that's the thing I hate about the combine is they perpetuate stereotypes. It really does. It perpetuates stereotypes. Cam Scattergood, this young man, I say kid, I say kid, this young man is a beast. Is an absolute monster after contact. You won't hear his name mentioned. He probably won't go until the 3rd round. He should be a 1st round. But you're going to hear about Ashton Jeanty. You're going to have Ashton Jeanty. Ashton Jeanty shouldn't go until the 2nd round. He'll probably go in the 1st round, and he's not going to come close to what he was in college. But let's get to Shedeur Sanders. Let's talk about the narrative about Shedeur Sanders. Another reason I hate the combine, because if you are black and intelligent and you have 2 parents and you let them know that you're confident in yourself, which is what you want. I'm serious, you have children. Larry, you got children. Don't you want your children to be confident?
Yes,
Don't
sir.
you want them to walk into a room and own that damn room?
I want my quarterback to be confident in all shit.
I'm talking with your kids. You want your kid to walk in any room and own the room, right?
Yeah, but I'm saying not even just that. Who want a shot in a non-confident quarterback? You leader of the team.
Well, see, he didn't come from a broken home, right?
Yeah.
And he came from money, right?
Yeah.
And he speaks well. He speaks a little too well. Okay. And he has hat on backwards. Oh my God, Colin Cowherd. He had his hat on backwards. So he must be terrible. He's arrogant and brash. Well, Baker Mayfield was the epitome of arrogant and brash. I remember Baker Mayfield running from the cops and getting tossed in the bushes. I still remember that. Maybe other people don't. I still do. Google it, people. Okay? All I heard about was this arrogant, cocky kid who walked on to Texas Tech and who walked on to Oklahoma, and because he was so cocky and arrogant. You know how he could walk on at Texas Tech and Oklahoma, 2 of the most expensive schools in the world? Because it came from money. Because he could afford to walk on and not need a scholarship. Did anybody ever say that they didn't want him because he was arrogant and brash? They did not.
Not until he planted that flag on Ohio State's.
That was like the epitome.
Until he did that, yeah.
Oh, we
and
love
then
him. He's so confident. And then he went to a press conference looking like a serial killer, looking like one of the dudes from Columbine with this fucked up mustache. I'm sorry, Mr. Jordan. Right? And a trench coat. Bro, you had on a trench coat, looking like you're about to go to the park and do this. So I feel dangerous. I feel dangerous. Okay?
I feel dangerous.
But Shedeur Sanders, all he said was, if you don't want to change your culture, If you don't want to get better, don't draft me. Because I'm not trying to lose. Well, he's so arrogant. Maybe he doesn't love football. Because we need these broken home kids with from the ghetto, and they'll love football and they'll do whatever we want. Man, look, the combine, honestly, for me, is trash. It's trash. But
Dude, hey,
go ahead.
I was gonna tell you, dude, and I agree with you, bro. The thing that I don't like either is this dumbass Wonderlic score that they be. Oh, this person
That makes
failed
no
the
sense.
Wonderlic score, and this person didn't pass the Wonderlic score, so they not that good. Like, miss me with that shit. Like I say, either you can play the game or you can't play the game. Can you read the plays or can you not read the plays?
If you want to talk to me about spatial reasoning, which is what you use in football, you want to talk about spatial awareness, which is what you and if I'm using too big a word, and I'm not, because everyone that watches our show understands things because we're a bunch of bright people, but we're talking about being able to look at something and in your head break it down, take it apart, put it back together. That's called spatial awareness. Most of us do it every freaking day. Most mothers do it every 5 minutes with young kids. Okay, he's going that way. This is there. This is there. This is there. If he falls this way, I'm gonna have to do this. Da da da. Spatial awareness. Not that hard, right? But a Wonderlic score, yes, it determines your intelligence quotient. Okay, fine. You're very bright. That don't mean you can play football.
No.
You're the smartest. What was his name? Rosen. First name.
Yeah. Josh Rosen.
Bright guy, good guy, honestly. Good human being. Couldn't play football to save his life. Okay, literally couldn't play football to save his life. No. He's very smart. I'm sure he got a high score in Wonderlic. Couldn't play football. The combine it's useless for me, but what comes out of it a lot of times is when you see, again, we talk about the kid Stewart from, I forget where he's from. Is he from Texas?
Yeah.
Texas schools, right?
Texas A&M.
Yeah.
Okay.
Texas A&M, yeah.
He is a physical specimen, but he can't play. He can't play. He's going to go probably in the 20s to somebody. And then they're going to call this kid a bust. And they're gonna castigate him and character assassinate him. And that's the part I hate. Because Jackson Dart is going to get picked in the first round. Jackson Dart is not a first-round quarterback. Jackson Dart is a third-round project. Someone's going to draft him between 10 and 15. Somebody's going to draft him. And then they're going to start him after like 6 games. And you're going to wonder why their team keeps losing. They keep throwing interceptions. And why he looks so lost. Because he played for Lane Kiffin, who, as a human being, leaves a lot to be desired. But as a football coach,
he's pretty good.
He's genius. He can make me, at this age right now, look serviceable as a college quarterback. He can make me look good. That's how smart Lane Kiffin is with football. Don't draft Jackson Dart, but somebody will. But Cam Scadaboo's going to go in the 3rd round. And the tight end from Penn State, if he doesn't get drafted by the Jets, he probably won't go until the 2nd round. He's a first-round talent. The combine.
Tyler Warren's awesome. But I'm biased. I'm a Penn State fan.
The combine is designed for those front office people who want to walk around and puff their chest out and talk about how smart they are. And talk about, well, with him running that 40 like that, those 3 reps at 250 pounds, what we can do with him is the combine is a waste of freaking time.
Hey, CK, you know what?
Guys, rounds 4 through 7. It's the only reason it's helpful. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was gonna say the only thing that I would say that the combine for me would really be good for. All these, BCS schools, all these schools, y'all guys don't come. All the guys that are like HBU guys that don't get as much scouts, you might even have one scout at your game, not one. You might have one scout for that whole SWAC conference, or these guys that are playing like Division II or NAIA or whatever you want to call it. Like, I feel like the combine should be for those guys that don't have scouts that scout them, the guys that don't have anybody that can go back and watch their actual game film. Because those guys, I can tell you right now, a lot of those guys, they don't even probably have game film on them. Like, they're guys that get drafted in like the 6th and 7th round that they literally be like, we didn't even have no tape on these guys. This is what the combine should be for. Go back, look at some of their tape. You know, like you say, CK, it's kind of like a job interview. It should be for those guys who don't get all the exposure. The guys that, if you playing at Mississippi, Kentucky, you playing on goddamn national TV. We got
every week.
Yes,
we got
network, bro. Like, miss me. Either you can play or you can't play. But I think that it should be for the guys that are trying to make it there. And some of these guys, they either don't get a chance because they can't sign on, like, you know, these practice squad players. They can't get those contracts, and they're trying to fight to even get even an opportunity. There are guys that's like that don't get drafted, don't get camp invites, and they're just hungry trying to get there and never get that opportunity. And if they were able to go to the draft, combine, then they could, you know, show what they can do, and maybe they could not just get drafted like a 6th or 7th round, but they could get that, hey, we're gonna give you a camp invite and try you out. Because there are guys that's like that.
So here's my only retort. Here's my only retort to that. I am a firm believer that if you were talented, the scouts will find you.
No, they won't.
No. I'm gonna tell you right now, because you can only have 76 in camp, bro, and you can only bring 76 in. So if you're like at a HBU, dude, you might not even get a camp invite.
How many players from HBCUs were at the combine? Zero.
And they barely even get drafted, bro.
HBCU talent does not get invited to the combine, which is a whole nother issue.
That's a whole nother issue.
It's a whole different issue. But what I'm saying is this: I have a hard time believing that if, let's say, you know, Johnny Quest at HBCU, whatever, is out there hooping and balling out, that there is not tape on him from somewhere, there's not stuff being posted online about him. These scouts will find him. Now, to your point, Larry, I do agree. They do because so many times you see the report and you hear what's going on. Well, this particular guy went undrafted. He was a walk-on and blah blah blah, you know, situation, and he managed to, you know, earn himself into the. Like,
it's very rare.
I mean, 1 out of 10. Serious.
Again, it's a rarity. I get that, but once again, your talent and your skill set will make room for you if you stay the course.
Hey, but I'm gonna tell you real talk, Aaron. This is what happens a lot. They only got 76 invites, and what they'll do, they'll sign somebody to a two. It's kind of like a two-way for NBA players, but it's for NFL. It's a 2-year non-guaranteed. They'll sign a guy just because he was 3rd string or 4th string in Alabama, never played. He was 4th stringer, and they'll sign him to that 2-way. He'll be on that contract. Those guys will be on that contract. They won't even make it to preseason. They'll end up cutting them, and then somebody else will end up picking them up. And then the guys that, like you said, they may have been a proven starter at an HBU and will never even get that opportunity to even show up with the book in their hand.
Yeah, they won't even get to be camp bodies. And that's the thing is if you invite them, the D3s, the HBCUs, the NAIAs, right?
Yes.
If you invite them, you'd be surprised how many of them go 4, 5, 6 rounds, right? But because we all know, we all been watching football a long time, right? We all watch the draft, even up to the 5th, 6th round. We still sitting there clicking over Joe blah 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 from Umpty Squat Southwest University. Okay, just got drafted, right? And all they got is a headshot, right? But one of them nerds on the desk is like, "Oh yeah, I went to one of his games, and he had 3 interceptions and And you're like, dude, Mina Kimes is a draft nerd, right? You could be in the 6th round, and she'll tell you something about some cat that nobody else has scouted, and she's like, "Oh yeah, this one, he can do this really well." a lot of teams don't hire people like that anymore. They don't hire draft nerds. They don't hire football nerds anymore. You understand what I'm saying? The old days of that dude who was in his car basically 250 days a year. His wife done divorced him. His kids ain't never seen him because he's trying to find that one diamond in the rough. Those dudes are gone pretty much, man.
You don't have to do that anymore because everything is all online. And
but that's the thing. A lot of these HBCUs don't have the ability to put stuff online, which again feeds back to that whole conversation we had when Prime was at Jackson, right? And everybody got on him because he said, y'all ain't doing enough. Grambling. Doug Williams literally had to go in his own pocket to build them a weight room, bro.
Dude, I'm gonna be real with you, dude. And we talking about that Wonderlink, dude. I'm quite sure it's it's probably some really smart dudes there that can play football but never get opportunity.
And also Howard's a party university. Let's be honest. Cats go to Howard's a party.
But I'm just saying, but it's probably some really smart dudes that
Howard be partying, man. I ain't gonna hold you.
We used to go to Howard. Okay.
Any school you go to, you could go to the party you want to, but they have some really smart dudes. It always be used, and you could put them in one of them rooms and watch how they do on them interviews or one of them Wonderlinks.
You have to get people that are willing
to but you got to put them in there. You got to put them in there.
If the teams aren't willing to put the resources in to send these guys, I just found that there's a Virginia State University.
VCU.
No, VSU.
VSU. Excuse me, VSU.
I had never heard of it. I was at the VA the other day, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm standing there, it's a brother behind me. I'm looking at the shirt, and I'm like, VSU? Who the fuck is that VSU? So I said, bro, that's got to be an HBCU. He said, yeah, it is. I said, it figures because I never heard of it. And I wasn't trying to be mean or nasty. My point was, and I heard how it sounded once I said it, so I apologize to him. But my point was, I've never heard of that school because there's no promotion of it. Because HBCUs and they don't promote their own damn schools.
Dude, hey, Chandler, and this is where I'm gonna go with. This is what I would love to see the combine at, right? Like, hey, look, all these NIA bowl subdivision, what they call them now, AA, all these HBCUs. Hey, look, we give y'all, send me y'all best 2-3 players. Y'all go in the combines. All these BCS schools and SEC schools, we'll see you motherfuckers at Pro Day.
Yeah.
Like, why the fuck you gotta have a combine and a Pro Day? We'll see y'all at Pro Day, bro.
Yes.
We got plenty of tape on y'all. We watch y'all, like you say, every Saturday. We watching y'all. We'll see y'all there. The combine is for the people that don't get the exposure and don't get the opportunities that y'all get.
That's what it should be for.
Huh?
That's what it should be for.
Yeah, because think about it. I'll go even further. There's a lot of guys, whether it's football, basketball, baseball, whatever sport it is, there are guys that are late bloomers. There are guys that they probably didn't play in high school or they wasn't heavily recruited out of high school. And the motherfucker then grew 8 inches in the summer and now he's 7'3" and he learned how to play. Like, and so he had to go to a smaller school. Like
OCU Manura. Didn't play football until basically he would have been in high school.
Yeah.
He was a junior in high school.
Yes. Hakeem Olajuwon was a soccer player.
Michael Strahan.
You dribble his ball.
Dude, half the world don't even know Michael Strahan went to TSU. Half of them don't even know that.
Bro.
Yeah, bro. Dude played at TSU.
So, and that's your point, Larry, is they have an opportunity with this combine to really bring in the players that people don't know, that they don't see, to give them an opportunity. But instead, let's give the third string linebacker from Ohio State, who we got to see 6 times this year because they were in blowouts. You know, those 6 blowout games they had of the 12. We saw him already. We know his story. We know what his mom looked like because they kept focusing on the crowd. And now he's in the game. Look at his mom. You know, can I see the kid from Virginia State University?
Yeah.
Matter of fact, can we find out that there is a Virginia State University?
Yeah. And like serious, and CK, we're not double teaming you. We just telling you, dude, when they get to number 75, they'll take that third string linebacker. You could have been at Virginia State and been the conference player of the year, and they will give it to that third string linebacker before they give it to you.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's damned if you do, damned if you don't,
Yeah,
right?
it's a
Like you
numbers
go
game.
to a small.
But if that guy would have got the opportunity to go to the combine, then now I'm not saying he'd have been drafted, but he might have got that camp invite, and then you can work your way up the depth chart and show him what you got.
All I need is get my foot in the door, bro.
And a lot of times they don't even get their foot in the door.
That's on me. Because if I get my foot in the door and I fail, like I used to tell people all the time, when I actually worked for a living, I'm like, listen, all I need is an introduction. You don't have to sell me to them. You don't have to ask them to hire me. All I want you to do is give me an introduction. I'll do the work. Okay? Because if I'm good enough, trust me, they're going to hire me. All I need is an introduction. That's it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's what people would refer me or you give me good references because I wasn't asking them to vouch for me. I ain't asked them to say how good a worker I was. Listen, smart guy, just talk to him. Bro, that's all I need. You understand what I'm saying? Just give me a call. I'll do the rest.
I'll go even further. I'll go even further, dude. Like, it's a lot of really good football players. Dumb as shit. They not that smart. Can play football. Can play football out their ass. But you know what schools they end up going to because they wasn't that smart? Virginia State.
HBCUs, Virginia
State.
Yeah,
they go to some of those schools like that because the requirements are lower. And
I know some dummies from USC. I know some dummies from I hate to put him out there like this, but I'm gonna do it. Jelani McCoy. All right. When I was stationed in San Diego, right? Jelani McCoy is a great human being. He's a really good dude. He's dumb as a box of fucking rocks.
Okay. I'm not gonna just because you're not that smart, I don't feel like you should not get the opportunity, especially when it comes to sports. And a lot of times guys have to go to smaller schools because they're not that smart and they never get that opportunity.
But how many times is somebody who we calling dumb later on in life got a degree?
Yeah. Yeah, right? I'm not saying that either. I mean, somebody might have pushed them through, but they just not that
once
smart.
They get an opportunity and they find out, oh man, I don't know how to do that, right? So they got to learn to do that, and they get people around them who start pushing them and say, hey, you might want to, get a little versed in this. So they go back.
Yeah.
I always come back to a guy, Curtis Martin. I'll never forget this in his Hall of Fame speech. Curtis Martin did not like to play football. Curtis Martin didn't love football. He hated football. Listen to this Hall of Fame speech. Curtis Martin played football because it was a way to support him and his family. Period. End of story. He didn't love football. Not even a little bit. But he was smart enough to realize I have a skill. I'm really good at this. So I'm going to be the best I can at this until I can't. Most people don't realize that. Curtis Martin's in the Hall of Fame, people. Curtis Martin did not love football. It was a job to him. But because it was a job, he showed up every day and he did his best for a
long time. For a long time.
And how many people can relate to that, right? You got a family, you got this job, you hate your damn job, but you show up every day and you bust your behind because you got to feed your family.
Get a check and go home.
Hey, but see, I'll go another direction, another route with that because we already touched on it a little bit, especially when you talking about, I'm gonna say black communities or non, other communities. You could have a kid could play football, basketball, whatever sport out the ass. Maybe he have dyslexia or some type of learning disability, and nobody's never gave him the assistance that he needed to be able to pass in school and be functioning in school. And like I said, that person may end up at one of these smaller schools that have lower requirements and never get the opportunity to even show that, yes, I can play the game. Yes, I may need, somebody to assist me with the playbook, but I can play the game like, oh, hell. And they never even make it to the door, bro.
And that's what the combine was started for. The combine was started for those who were falling through the cracks because teams were like, man, we missing out on a lot of good players. That's how it started. But again, it's kind of like welfare. Welfare was started to give people a hand up. And yes, we be veering off a little bit. Welfare was not designed for everybody stealing the rest of their life. It's not what it was designed for. It was designed to give you a hand up, not a hand out. The combine was designed to give you a hand up, not a hand out. Both of them have turned out very differently than what they were intended.
Yeah, I mean, because like real talk, like CK probably know because he probably watched it and stuff. But Aaron, we get the 7-round picks because basically back in the day, if you were playing at a 1AA school, you got drafted. You got drafted because it was at one point it was like 17 rounds or something.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude. Like if you played at a big school, you got drafted, and they would go to camp with 200 people and weed out who the best.
Yeah.
They stopped that. They don't do all that no more. It's you have your 76, and that's including your practice, and that's why we see these major cuts during the preseason. Because if you like this, if you never even get an invite to be one of 76, then you basically clawing and scratching to even make it to that spot.
Yep.
Right.
Which also feeds into the injuries because a lot of those players were camp bodies. What a camp body is, your cannon fodder. You were there to take up the hits so that the people that actually want to keep don't have to take the hits. And maybe we find a diamond in the rough, but you know what? You get a couple of checks. We fly you somewhere else. We get you out of your environment. We fly you to another state. Maybe you'll find something in that state. You don't play football, but maybe you get a job as an insurance, whatever. But guess what? Your life got changed because you realize it's more than just the block. How many people y'all know, right? Ain't never left the block.
Yeah.
Ain't never been on an airplane, bus, train, boat. They're like, what I gotta leave for? Everything right here, my man. The world is bigger than the corner store.
Yes.
The world's bigger than the corner store. Give people an opportunity, bro, and just you never know how somebody can blossom if they just give an opportunity.
And that's why I would want to see the combine go to at some point. But we'll see. Maybe somebody listening to our show that work for the NFL because they like to listen to us, like you say.
They do.
They like to listen to us. Hey, we appreciate it.
That's all.
We appreciate it, bro. Hey, look. Hey, send the chicks to.
Send them this way. Send them this way. With that being said, since we're sitting here on the NFL, we've had a lot of movement in the past 7 days. The Eagles decided to pay Saquon, which is well deserved. The New York Football Jets are really in full tank rebuild overhaul mode. Releasing Devontae Adams, and the Philadelphia Eagles also released big play Slay. Washington Commanders made a big splash this weekend, securing the services of one Deebo Samuel. Larry, CK, where'd you want to take it, man? You want to talk about this Deebo thing, or do you want to spin around and talk about other free agents that I may have mentioned or forgot the name?
Jonathan Allen. Jonathan Allen is interesting because the Commanders are getting rid of him.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't understand why.
It's a money thing.
I know that he's not. Jonathan Allen was the only good player on that team for a really long damn time. He was the only professional on that team for a long time. Right? He was in there fighting people who didn't even want to play. Remember that game? Where he had to fight somebody because the dude was basically out there just giving up. I remember that game. And now you want to get rid of him when things are getting better. I don't understand. I get he's a little older, whatever, and maybe he wants to go. Maybe he's done. Maybe he's tired. But that's shocking. That's bothersome to me. Let me say it that way.
T. Higgins got tagged.
We knew that was going to happen because the Browns aren't going to pay anybody. T. Higgins getting traded. T. Higgins getting traded. Get traded. They're the Brown family.
Bengals.
And for those who are not like football nerds like we are, the Cleveland Browns.
I mean, Bengals.
The Browns.
Bengals.
The Bengals.
No, the Cleveland. Okay,
Oh yeah, I know where you're going. I know where you're going.
Okay, I got you.
I know where you're going. Yeah, I know where you're going.
Right?
It took me a minute.
Brown family.
It took me a minute. Gotcha.
All right. This is how long that family's been in football. And I know it's the second iteration of it, but that's where the genesis of the name came from. They have always been cheap. As long as a Brown owns the Cincinnati Bengals, they will not pay their star players.
They played Joe Burrow.
They will pay the star non-melanated quarterback. They will not pay anybody else. And I said that as nicely as I could.
No, you did. Yeah.
They're not paying anybody else. And again, I'm old enough to go back to Ken Anderson. I'm actually old enough to go before, but Kenny Anderson, right? When Chris Collinsworth was a star player in the NFL, the Brown family didn't want to pay people. Okay? That's what Chris Collinsworth started as a wide receiver and actually started as a tight end and wanted as a wide receiver so he could get a couple more dollars in his paycheck. Right? Chris Collinsworth was a badass tight end. And then he became a wide receiver because the Brown family didn't like to pay people. For those of y'all that don't know that.
Mm-hmm.
So T. Higgins get traded. They're going to call Joe Burrow's bluff when it comes to him pulling a Carson Palmer. He's not going to. He ain't built like that. And Jamar Chase, honestly, is going to have to go through 2 tags, or he's going to have to hold out so he can get out of there. So
I think he'll do it.
As y'all know them
right now.
I mean, Jamar Chase will. I mean, he could.
He sat out a season at LSU. He sat out that last season and didn't play.
Like that, bro. He ain't built like that.
Chase?
Jamar Chase, let me put it like this. Let me piss everybody off. Football players don't have the courage of their convictions. Jamar Chase, if he held out this coming off season and said, I'm not playing until y'all pay me, they would pay him. Jamar Chase is going to show up to camp. He's going to show up to camp. And he should. But that Slay, cornerback, right?
Yeah. He's here corner.
I could see him going to Tennessee or the Raiders and being very effective. I'm thinking about coaching and what the teams need. They need leadership. Tennessee needs leaders. Carolina needs leaders. The Raiders need leaders. One of those 3 teams. Because he can still play, bro. But his biggest asset is his leadership and what he brings from a human standpoint. He galvanizes people.
Man, Slay ain't making it past Minnesota. Minnesota love veteran corner.
They're not bringing him in. They're not bringing him in.
They love older veteran cornerbacks.
They're not gonna bring him in.
I'm just saying, Minnesota love him.
They should.
Minnesota love him.
They should.
Hey yo, speaking of which, what are you guys doing with Hula Funga down there in San Fran?
I think he'll be back. He'll be back, and I think Water be back. So go ahead, CK. I ain't mean to cut you off, man.
Go ahead.
So me, if we gonna have a little non-session up here. I love the Debo trade, dude. Remember we was all on the show arguing about John Lynch. John Lynch, look, you say you want to be traded, he gonna trade you. If you say you want to be released, he'll release you.
No, he's not because Brandon Ayuk did that whole song and dance last year, and he coughed up the bag, and now they're trying to trade him
too.
No, wait.
And Ayuk.
But wait, Ayuk said he did not want to. He said he made that too difficult. He wanted to be traded. It was 3 trades that was actually agreed to. The New England trade was agreed to. The Steelers trade was agreed to, and the Browns trade was agreed to. He would not report to them to even work out the contract negotiation.
Okay, but they're talking about that the Niners are open to trading him too.
Because they want to get younger, right?
Yes.
They want to get younger.
Yes.
And it's not about the money. They want to get younger, and they want to build around Brock, right?
Which is a bad move, but go ahead.
Well, I'm not saying it's a bad move. I'm just saying is that we'll see what happens, right? But I think I actually had this conversation with one of my homeboys because he's a big Niners fan too, and I told him, I said the reason why I think Ward will be back and Hufanga will be back because they are solid guys, and they're gonna, because Salah's came back, they're gonna want Salah to have some of his guys in the fold.
Will they pay the money?
We got the money. We got the money.
That was
the part about the Debo trade. I think a lot of people did not read into. Washington picked up his full contract.
That's only $17 million, bro.
But we don't have to pay none of it. They picked up
that's
the full contract.
Mufunga is easily 17.
After his injury, I don't think he's gonna get that on the open market.
Yes, he will.
He's been hurt.
Yes, I'd give it to him.
Ward, Jets to give anybody money, bro.
I'm saying a team that needs a player like him that has cap space, I'd give him 17 easy.
Well, we'll bring back one of the two. And like I said, with as much cap space we got, I think they'll work out some magic. Because people keep talking about Brock. Brock is eligible. That don't mean that his contract is going to be on the books yet. That just means he's eligible. It don't kick in not this season to the season after. Okay, so we still got cap space to play with.
Still got to pay him. Still got to pay him.
You don't have as much as you think. You don't have as much as you think.
And remember, I told you, I care about the cap number, being able to still be able to do stuff. Dude, the Niners are literally going to be sitting on like the 5th most cap space now, and I'm fine with it.
With Brock Purdy.
I'm looking at it right now. What are you talking about?
But we don't have to pay him this season. He's getting paid next season.
No, you know why you got to pay him this season?
Eligible.
I'll tell you why. It's what we criticize the Cowboys about. You don't want to wait until you have to pay a person.
But that's what I'm saying. This is the first year that he's eligible for it. So if he signs it now, it doesn't kick in until 2026.
Okay.
He's not going to be on the books.
Pay him now instead of 2026 when the number starts with a 6?
It's not going to be at a 6. It's going to be at a 4.
Bro, a starting quarterback in 2026, the number starts at 6. Franchise quarterback, the number starts at 6.
I don't care about the number. I care about the cap number. I care about the cap
number right here. This number right here. 34.934 million.
I care about the cap number.
That to Mufunga.
I care about the cap number. I care about the amount of money that we can play with. That's what I care about.
34 million.
That's like, dude, that must not be updated, bro, because the Niners are like number 5 or 6.
That's updated.
That's 19th in the league. That's 19th in the league.
That's up to
the minute. Aaron, you need to pull it up right because we were already at like 50 million before the Debo trade.
This is sport track. This is sport track. You don't go over the cap. Move over the cap real quick.
Yeah, go over the cap.
This is sport track.
Yeah, go over the cap, bro.
The market just closed.
But I'm just saying is that as long as they can still make moves, a lot of the core players, I don't care about Brock's contract, bro. Patrick Mahomes signed a crazy contract, but his cap number is only like 20 million. Jalen Hurts, his cap number is only like 20 million. The problem with Dak, you can't compare Purdy to Dak.
The Niners aren't that smart.
Because the cap number for Dak is like 90 million.
Yes.
They cannot even cut him.
Because the Cowboys waited till the last minute. And if you keep talking about, well, we can wait till next year.
No, Chandler, wait. Let me stop you, bro. This is the first year he's eligible. We couldn't negotiate a contract with him until this year.
Stop. Behind the scenes, y'all could have already come up with a number. Miss me with that.
Wait, yes, I get that. But behind the scenes has not been released yet. But what I'm telling you is that once they agree on the contract, that contract does not take effect until 2026.
Okay.
2026.
Okay.
So we have like 70 million this season to play with.
But you don't get 50 of it.
No, not this year. That's what I'm telling you. You don't
get next year. Either way, so you got so if you don't win the Super Bowl this year, you're not winning for the next 4.
I saw here's next year's number.
We'll figure it out. That was before the Debo trade.
No, that was not the Debo trade. Debo Sam's not on your roster here. Where's Debo Sam? Debo Sam's not on your roster here. This is
I'm telling you, bro. Go to over the cap, bro. Go to over the cap.
This is over the cap. This is OTC.
OTC. Over the cap. OTC.
That's OTC right there, buddy.
No, you looked at last year because you one of them rose-colored glasses type people.
What are we talking about right now? This is your cap number.
And talking about Mardi Gras.
I'm telling you right now, bro. We're gonna have the cap space. We're gonna get Brock signed, dude. I think Hufanga is gonna be back. Ward's gonna be back, and I think they're gonna work. They may be bringing that veteran, and it may be Devontae coming in.
Here's where here's okay. So you have Nick Bosa, who may or may not come off the books. You know what I'm saying? You're talking about moving him. You know what I'm saying? If you moved him, depending upon what you moved him for, right now, he has a cap hit of 52.5. If he's cut and or moved before June 1st. So that may be some money that you're expecting to come back, because everything that I'm hearing right now from the San Francisco camp is that you guys want to move on from Nick Bosa. Okay, cool.
And that would be smart. Go get Khalil Mack for half the price.
Or that. This whole thing with Trent Williams now. Trent Williams
pay for Garrett and pay the same money.
Trent Williams hasn't signed yet. You don't need Myles Garrett. But cool, get Myles Garrett. I don't care.
Y'all don't need Myles Garrett.
Trent Williams may or may not, retire or whatever.
Trent Williams needs to go home, bro. He needs to go back to the Bahamas.
He hasn't announced what he's going to do yet. So if you get rid of Trent Williams, his cap
coming back. Trent coming back.
So we got to figure out
not come back.
So we got to figure out what we're going to do there, because if you think Trent Williams coming back, then you're going to have to pay Trent Williams. This takes out of this 33 and some change mil that you got to play with, because he's not going to come back
for 7 games, because he's only going to play 7 games.
He's not going to come back for anything under than what he got last year, which is 21.5.
Yeah, and he only plays 7 games because he keeps getting hurt.
Trent
let me know what is. I mean, again, we'll see what pops off. But I mean, this fantasy idea that you got all this money and no, bro.
It's not a fantasy. They must have just re-signed somebody, because I'm looking at it from 5 days ago on USA Today. They've had 54 million. Bro. They must have re-signed somebody. They must have renegotiated somebody or something. But they had the money. That's why they call
it the present, because it's a gift. Stay in the present.
But I've
been on 2 sites. I've been on Sport Track and Over the Cap, and both of those numbers are pretty spot.
I'm gonna put it like this. I know my Niners like your Steelers. They'll work it out. And Lynch has always worked it out.
I'm glad you like the Jets, because they're gonna fuck it up.
Dude, think about it. I'm gonna put something on y'all brain while y'all talking about my Niners, because I know my Niners, bro.
You know your Niners?
They literally, people was talking crap about them last year. He literally signed the best defensive tackle in free agency last year.
Who's that?
Hargrove. He got hurt, but Hargrove was the #1 defensive tackle in the league last year as a free agent.
How many games has he played the last 3 years?
Justin Hargrove.
How many games has he played the last 3 years?
I get it. He got hurt, but he was the #1
How many
tackle.
games D-line the last 3 years?
It does not matter.
It does, because if he's constantly getting hurt, then he wasn't the best player to sign.
I'm saying is that they were able to work the cap to get him signed, and he was the top.
And how many games did he play, Larry? How many games did he play?
He got hurt. So
how many games did he play, Larry?
What does that mean, bro? He worked the cap.
That means that if he's constantly getting hurt, it's a bad signing.
I don't care if it was a bad signing or not, bro. He was the top available defensive lineman.
Stop.
Dude,
stop.
I'm so lost right now.
If you need a D lineman, what do you go do? You find the best one, right?
Larry.
If you need a wide receiver,
how are you the best if you're not on the field? How are you the best if you can't play?
Dude, you trying to tell me that Javon Hargrove was not the best defensive lineman on the free agent market last year?
Did he play?
That's not what I'm saying. He was not the best one.
No, he wasn't the best because he's injury prone. If you're injury prone, you're not the best.
Who was better than him?
Whoever could stay on the field.
Dude, he got hurt last year, dude, but they was able to.
He got hurt the year for that.
You telling me that he's not able to work the cap? He worked the cap to sign the best defensive lineman.
He ain't been healthy for the past few years, because
so you got the worst guy because that guy can't stay healthy.
You got him from the Eagles in 2022, and he ain't been right since 2025.
When you need something, you know what you do? You go sign the best one you can sign.
No, you sign the guy who can. You sign the guy who actually shows up. Okay, let's go back to a job. Let's go back to a job, right?
Why do you think Kirk Cousins keep getting paid, bro? Kirk Cousins keep getting paid
up until last season. Kirk Cousins kept showing up to play.
But he was not the best. But he was the best
doesn't matter.
available.
He showed up.
He showed
was
up,
the
bro.
best.
He balled.
He timed his free agency every year to where he was the best available quarterback.
Because he kept showing up. If I only have 3 janitors, right? And one guy can't clean to save his life, but the other 2 are never there, my best janitor is the guy who shows up.
He timed it where he knew every single time he was a free agent, he was going to be the best available
Larry,
one.
Stop straw manning the argument.
I'm not straw manning the argument. I'm not straw manning the argument. I believe that they're gonna work out some stuff, and we gonna probably end up back in the NFC Championship.
Hargrave was not a good signing. Say it, Larry.
I'm not saying it was the. In hindsight, he got hurt, but he was the best available defensive lineman.
Say
it. Find me one of the defensive linemen that was better than him as a free agent, regardless of the injury history.
Anybody who stayed healthy for 16 games.
Dude, when you are looking at free agents, injury history is always going to come into play.
Yes, you have to look at injury history.
But when you're looking at which ones are the best available ones, that's what you have to look at.
Injury history plays into who's the best, bro.
Dude, when you're looking at free agency, right?
Yes.
And you're looking at, okay, I need a defensive lineman.
Yes. I need a defensive lineman who shows up and who's healthy.
Do I take the most talented one with an injury history, or do I take the unproven one with maybe not
I take the unproven one who's going to show up every day.
That's not how GMs do stuff, bro. That's not how GMs do.
GMs most of them are dumbasses, bro.
Dude, we talk about Mekhi Becton playing out of position, but he also kept getting hurt, and that's how he drafted.
And by the way, he was drafted by a dumbass GM. Who decided to not move him to guard. Then he went to a GM who was smart enough to move him to guard.
And he was the champion.
He kept getting hurt because they kept putting him at tackle when he wasn't built to play tackle.
But he had an injury history. He had an injury history, but he was the best available.
At tackle, they signed him
the best available
guard. He had an injury history at tackle. They signed him to be a guard.
But he was one of the best available linemen.
As much, no. Every position on offensive line is not the same. So every position on defense. See, we're not gonna do this, bro. You're not gonna straw man this argument for me because I'm in this space tonight and I'm agile. I'm clicking.
Dude,
shit,
we're not
firing tonight, baby. Dude, come on, bring it, bring it.
You know where I'm gonna go with you, and I'm gonna tell you
where you gonna go? Where we going?
Because the Chiefs, they tagged I forgot his name.
Trey Smith.
The lineman.
Trey Smith,
right?
Trey Smith.
Yes. You know who's gonna get the highest offensive lineman free agent deal? Ronnie Stanley. And you know what Ronnie Stanley got? Injury history. That
means it's not a smart signing.
But he's the best available.
He's not the best if he's not on the field.
You said the best available, but he's not available.
He's a free agent.
Bam.
He's a free agent. When you're looking at free agents, what other lineman out there is better than Ronnie Stanley?
Anybody who can stay on the damn field.
Chandler, I bet you right now he's gonna get the most money out of any offensive line.
Doesn't mean it's a smart signing, bro.
That's not how it works, though. That's not.
But that's how it's supposed to work. You're supposed to sign. You're supposed to make smart signings with the limit. Larry. Stop. No, seriously.
The guy's supposed to be blue.
Wait. You get X amount of dollars in your paycheck every whatever you get, right? In your pay period. Every pay period, X amount of dollars, right?
Yes.
You have a certain amount of bills to pay, right?
Yes.
The smart thing to do, right, is to pay the bills that you have to pay, right? And then work with the rest of them, right? Pay your mortgage, pay your lights, shit like that. Hold on, right? You gonna pay your mortgage, right? You gonna pay the lights. You got kids. You gotta get some groceries, right? You gotta pay the car insurance. You don't go pay all of the fucking streaming services and not pay the lights because the streaming services are really good. You pay what's important. What's important is somebody that's going to be on the field. So if you go pay the streaming services and your lights is off, what the fuck good was it to pay the streaming services?
Dude,
come on, son.
Dude, I'm going further, dude. Your Jets signed Moses and the other guy from the Cowboys because they was the best
I've
available at
never
the
said the
time.
Jets were smart.
And both of them stayed hurt, but they was the
I've been
best
calling the
available
Jets
linemen.
dumbasses for 50 years.
But they was the best available
No,
linemen.
they weren't. They weren't the best available. You know who the best available was? Mekhi fucking Becton.
Dude, I'm just saying, bro, you gotta go with who's the best available. Regardless of an injury, they will still pay him. We just gotta
The
talk
best
about who's
available are the guys that are gonna be on the field. They signed Tyron Smith knowing he came from the Cowboys with an injury history. And guess what happened? He got hurt.
And he got paid.
I was a smart signing.
And he got paid. That's how
he got hurt.
Dude, that's how all GMs do, bro.
Actually, it's not how all GMs do. It's not how all GMs do.
Mostly all GMs will take a chance.
Most GMs are dumbasses. All of them are not, but most of them are.
But most GMs will take a chance on a guy with an injury history.
When the Chicago Bears, when I told y'all that Caleb Williams going to Chicago Bears was bad because of the situation with the head coach, y'all told me I didn't know what the fuck I was talking about. I'm sorry. What happened with the head coach of Chicago Bears?
He got fired, but while people talking shit about Caleb Williams, he actually had a really good rookie season, bro.
I told y'all, I told y'all before the draft. What did I say? I said I didn't want him going to Chicago. Why did I say that? Because of the front office situation. How did it work out for Caleb?
He had a good rookie year. He had a good rookie year. He had some struggles, but he had a good rookie year.
He did not have a good rookie year, bro.
He's the first bad quarterback with over 3,000 yards.
That's not saying anything. How many games did they lose?
Dude, I'm just saying he didn't have as bad as a season as people think that he had, bro. He didn't. He didn't have a bad season as people think.
Larry is in this. See, you know what? This, ladies and gentlemen, this is not the real Larry. Okay? Because the real Larry, he don't get down like this. This is not the real Larry. But see, he's taking Barry's spot tonight. Because Barry, if I say the water's wet, Barry will say water's dry. If I say the sun is shining, Barry will say that it's dark outside.
I'm gonna put it like this, bro. When you come attacking my Niners, bro, you're gonna get the defense. And I've always been like that. You're gonna get the defense.
I didn't attack anything. I just told the truth.
No, bro. John Lynch has made miracles happen over there, bro.
Really?
I go even further.
How many Super Bowls you got?
You don't go to as many NFC Championship games if you don't make moves like that. Bro.
How many Super Bowls?
How many Super Bowls has the Jets won?
How many has John Lynch won? How many has John Lynch won? We've won more than John Lynch. We've won more than John Lynch.
Have the Jets even the team that signed Aaron Broke Rodgers is telling me about the Niners making moves?
We still have won more Super Bowls than John Lynch and the genius Kyle Shanahan.
No, actually, John Lynch has equal because John Lynch has one as a player.
No, and not as a general manager, he hasn't. Not as a general manager.
He's got to the NFC Championship game. You don't do that by being a bad GM.
But San Francisco 49ers. That's what you said, bro.
Dude, you don't get to be a bad GM and get to the NFC Championship game. You don't be a bad GM and get to the Super Bowl.
Oh my God.
What bad GM has gotten to the Super Bowl?
Lovie Smith. Who was this quarterback that went to Super Bowl against Peyton Manning?
What bad GM?
It was Jay Cutler or Russ Grossman, one of the two.
No, Rex Grossman. Rex Grossman went to a damn Super Bowl.
What GM has went to Super Bowl with a bad roster?
Rex Grossman was the quarterback.
That defense was fucking elite.
There's two parts of the roster, Larry.
That running game was what kept in. You do not serious. Steeler, man. I'm gonna let you interject over here. What are the Steelers? No, I'm gonna bring Aaron in.
Who's on first?
What are the Steelers known for? Making smart, wise moves, right? Mm-hmm. Defense, building good, solid rosters, right? Mm-hmm. Right? Do the Steelers make the playoffs every year? Yep.
Have they won a Super Bowl in how long?
Have they won one? Have they won one
in the past 10 years? In the past 10 years? No.
Mike Tomlin has one. But do they build a roster that you build every year?
Not in the past 10 years. Mike Tomlin doesn't have one in the past 10 years. Stop.
I'm talking to series right quick. Series, because I watched his Steelers shows. Do your GM build a roster that you feel is competent enough to at least make it to the playoffs and give you a chance?
Every year, yes.
How many GMs build a roster to make it to the playoffs year in and year out?
Maybe 10. Maybe 10.
So don't sit up and tell me that he's a bad.
There's 30 teams. That means 20 out of the 10 are dumbasses.
So the Niners have been to 4 out of 5 NFC Championship games and 2 Super Bowls. So being 10 out of 30, that means you're doing something goddamn right.
But you ain't won a damn thing, so you can't be doing that.
That means that you're doing something right.
Who's on first?
That means that you're in a position.
Third base.
That means that you're in a position that other teams would dream to be in, that would love to be in.
Larry, who's on first?
I'm just saying that's what happened.
Who's on first?
That's all I'm saying, bro.
Who's on first?
He's gonna make. I gotta trust. He's gonna make some wise, smart moves to put them back. Because the history that he's made really good moves. I like the moves that he's made. You need a D tackle, you go sign a D tackle. You need a wide receiver, you go sign a wide receiver. You need one, Larry, you draft one.
Larry, brother.
Dude, he drafted.
Brother, I'm here for you, brother.
Dude, I literally got into an argument. I know you don't like it, dude. I know you don't like fantasy. Dude, I know you don't like fantasy, bro. I literally got into an argument with a guy a couple of days ago about Jordan Mason. And I was like, the dude was leading the league in rushing before he got hurt. You don't find guys like that if you're not a good GM. You don't find a Hufanga. You don't find a Fred Warner. You don't find those guys. Those guys wasn't number 1 picks. You don't find a Brock Purdy, bro. If you're not,
dude. First of all, stop it. Stop with the finding Brock Purdy shit. All right, you lucked into him.
He was the last pick. How was that luck?
Exactly. You were sitting there like,
how was that luck? How was that luck? He was the last pick.
Oh my God.
It's not luck. You find a guy who know how to play in your system, and you draft their ass.
You in the club. Back when you went to the club, right?
Dude,
no, stop. You in the club, bro. Back when you went to the club. The lights came on. The lights came on. Right?
Football.
No. We talking life now.
No,
we
talking
football. Okay,
we talking football, bro.
All right, you was in the club. The lights came on, and the first girl that looked at you, you said, "Hey, how you doing?" And then y'all went home together because the lights came on. That was Brock Purdy. The lights came on.
No, bro. No, bro. No, bro. You missed me on that one.
Come on, son. Hey, it was 3 o'clock in the morning, and the lights came on, and Brock Purdy was the only one left.
Well, hell, if that's the case, then hell, we went home with the girl with the one that I left on, and y'all went and paid for the expensive hooker that can't give a blowjob.
Bro, listen. I ain't going home with nobody, because ain't nobody want to go home with none of this. I went home by my damn self.
Yeah, y'all went pay for the stripper that don't even know how to do her job.
Bro, I ain't go home with nobody except my fish tank. All right, I went home and sat in front of my fish tank and said, "Damn, everybody went home."
Who got hurt 30 seconds on one play?
I'm talking about the Niners. They lucked into the last woman at the bar. Miss me with that.
I'm just saying, bro. You do not get to that level of success with bad, flawed rosters, bro. That's not. Football is not wired that way, bro.
What I said was Javon Hargrave was a bad signing.
But you say that he made bad moves and you don't trust him. You cannot get to that.
That's not what I said.
You just said that you don't trust him to make the wise move.
That's not what I said.
You cannot build a roster to get to that point. You can't do it, bro.
I say that,
dude.
That's your sensitive, thin-skinned Niner fan.
You just said you don't trust him to build a roster. What is that saying?
Oh my God, those words never came out of my mouth.
Rewind it. Rewind it back, serious.
There you go. Rewind it.
You said I don't trust him to build a roster, bro. And
I never said that.
You have to trust your GM to build a roster, bro. If you're a Jets fan, I can see why you don't trust your GM. You don't trust
no GMs because they're all a bunch of dumbasses.
You don't trust your GM. You don't trust your owner. You don't trust your tall boy, man. If I was a Jets fan, look,
I don't trust you. You think I'm gonna trust some stranger I don't know?
Don't even come over here with bring me my balls. They might be deflated like Tom Brady if you're a Jets fan. I don't know about that one, but look, hey, we gonna like I said, we gonna see all this stuff gonna shake out.
Yes, it is.
It's all gonna shake out.
And when the Niners and the Jets are watching the second round of the playoffs together, we gonna.
I actually like this channel. Why you playing around? I like it. Everybody keep talking about Washington. Everybody's talking about the Eagles. Everybody's talking about the Rams. Everybody's talking about this and that. You know, we don't know how the next season's gonna unfold because when injuries come into play, and
Brock Purdy's not that good, son.
That was the only thing that held the Niners back was injuries last year.
Not that good,
dude. He's good enough for that system. That's what I'm gonna say.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
He's good enough for that system.
He's not good enough to carry y'all where you think you want to go because you're losing.
He got to a Super Bowl. He got to a Super Bowl.
He did get to a Super Bowl. Christian McCaffrey, Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel, Fred Warner, Trent Williams. They got them to a Super Bowl, and he was hanging on for dear life, like, please don't drop me. What the hell is wrong with you?
So you're saying that
he did nothing to get you there.
I watched the Super Bowl.
Nothing.
Dude, Chandler, did you watch the Super Bowl? The last one that we played?
He was outside the window hanging on. Oh my God, please stop.
Serious. Did you watch the last Super Bowl that we played against the Chiefs?
Yeah, I saw it.
If they would have won that game, you know who would have been the MVP of that game?
The quarterback is always the MVP.
Brock Purdy.
The quarterback is always the MVP.
Brock Purdy would have been the MVP.
They give it to the quarterback no matter what. That's not saying anything.
Dude, he literally put him in the game.
Jalen Hurts got the MVP this past year.
And he shouldn't have. The defense should have got it.
But if you watch that game, he kept him in that game. He kept them in that game. He made like 3 amazing plays.
He made
them.
I'm sorry. So 60 minutes, he made 3 plays, and that was it. Man,
he got them in the game.
Oh my God.
Bro, like I said, he's not doing it, bro. Maybe you don't know what a competent quarterback look like, man. My bad, man. My bad.
I'm sorry.
My bad.
I'm old enough to know what competent quarterback play. Dan Anderson, Dan Marino, Joe Dodson. I'm old enough to know what competent quarterback play looks like.
You're talking to somebody who's seen Joe Montana, Steve Young,
Garcia, Colin Danny White. I know all of them.
I've seen the whole 9 run, bro.
Let me say it like this. Brock Purdy is not better than Danny White.
Danny White old as hell. He can't throw the ball 5 yards right now.
And he's still not better than Danny White.
But Brock Purdy has taken them Niners places your Jets ain't
taking them nowhere.
He's actually and the series not gonna like this, but he's taking them where the Steelers would love to be at.
Okay, see, straw man. Series don't bite. That's straw man. He's trying to straw man.
He's taking them
because last season, why did the Niners make the playoffs if Brock Purdy is that great?
Injuries, dude. That was decimated, bro.
I don't care. A great quarterback carries the team through injuries.
Can't nobody do that.
Supposed to carry him.
No quarterback does that. Tom Brady left the Patriots because he couldn't do that.
Brady did it.
Mahomes, he ran his ass to Tampa Bay.
Joe Montana did it. Terry Bradshaw did it. Dan Marino did it. Dan Fouts did it. Come on, son.
Dude.
Come on.
I'm putting it like this, bro. That dude, he's still young. He's not even up for a first contract.
He's a bum.
He's taking them, and I bet you your Jets would love to have him right now, bro. A lot of teams would love to have him.
Run his ass out of town like we did Richard Todd.
A lot of teams would love to have him, and he's taking them places that, like
a lot of bad teams would love to have him.
A lot of teams have not been in the position.
You left out the word bad.
You over here acting like did my Niners stick it to y'all too many times or something?
I have no idea what you're talking
about.
You
had too many bad losses against the Niners.
I'm dealing with early onset dementia. I don't remember what you're talking about.
My bad. I forgot, Chill. I'm gonna give you a pass tonight. I forgot.
No,
I forgot. No, wait. No, wait. We gonna go.
I don't remember now.
I gotta feel serious here. I know what it is, and we gonna move on to the next subject. It's Shanahan name, man. My bad. It's Shanahan name, man. We had a whole conversation about it. I had a total brain lapse. It's the name, man. It's trauma there. It's a whole bunch of stuff that we gotta work past. My bad, man. We just had a whole 30-minute argument, and I forgot the whole time, man. It's some trauma there. So we gonna move on to the next subject. We triggered him because it's an issue. We gonna talk about it offline, man. We gonna work through this. We gonna work through the name, man. We gonna get it right. But
man.
but hey, look, you know, and it's funny to me, and y'all probably will all agree with me. NFL free agency brings out these emotions in people.
It does.
It does. Free agency do. And like people get amped up for it. Like this is the thing that pisses us off about NBA players.
Yeah.
When your product is that good, people get pissed in the offseason about what your team is doing.
They're ready to fight.
Dude, in the offseason, dude, I'll go even further, bro. The draft is gonna be in freaking Green Bay, Wisconsin. Anybody been to Green Bay, Wisconsin is not the most ideal place you want to go.
I bet you it will be packed 2 hours from there. There is nothing up there the 2 hours away I was in Michigan, and there ain't nothing in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
No, and I bet you it's going to be packed out for the draft.
And now you see why most of these players are like, peace, I'm going to stay home. There is no, listen, they are parking in people's driveways. Okay, to go to the damn game.
But I'm saying that's how passionate people are about football. Yeah. That draft is gonna be packed out in a city with nothing to do.
They're gonna have more people in Green Bay. They'll have more people there than they've ever had the entirety of that town existing on that weekend of the draft.
And that's crazy, bro. And like I said, that the NFL product is just a much better product to where, like I said, the offseason is much more interesting. The draft is much more interesting. Yeah, we just had a whole conversation about the combine.
Yeah.
I don't even look at the NBA combine.
You know what's crazy is people are gonna have to literally stay in hotels an hour to an hour and a half away.
Yep.
I'm not being funny. I lived in Michigan, which is the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Anybody that's from the area knows that I was a Youper. Okay, I was 2 to 3 hours away from Green Bay, right? There's not that many, there's only like maybe 5 hotels in Green Bay, Wisconsin, bro.
Chandler, I go to Minnesota all the time. It's gonna be some people that's staying in a whole other state and driving over.
And driving there, yeah.
And drive there. Yeah. Dude, I done been to Duluth, Minnesota, and you just go across the bridge and you're in Wisconsin. Hey.
I lived in Minneapolis. Trust me, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you walk across the bridge and you're in Wisconsin, and they like, yeah, a couple hours up the road, and you in Green Bay.
Where I was, from my apartment complex to the to where the little like Chinese buffet and whatnot was. If I made a left, I was in Wisconsin. If I made a right, I stayed in Michigan. Yeah,
dude. So, yeah, like I said, that's crazy that it's gonna be that many fans there, and they gonna be passionate about watching the draft, seeing it live. Even if the player's not there, they're gonna be passionate about it because that's the level of the product. Like I said, people really get passionate about the product, even if their team ain't won since 1967. They get real passionate about the product because,
bro.
Oh, my bad. I wasn't alive then, man. My bad, man.
He said, "Give me my 2 years."
I caught the little dig, right?
I had to shoot my jab in there. Hey, I had to stick my jab in there on him. Hey, look.
Technically, it was 69 because it was a 68 season, but Super Bowl played in 69.
Oh, just my bad, man. Look, it's a whole lot of dust on that. Look, it's a whole lot of everything. Hey, but you know what? You could be one of these teams that ain't never had one, so we're gonna see. But
see, that's why when people give me crap, I can say, listen, every team I root for in my lifetime, they've won a championship. Every single one.
One.
It don't matter.
One. Hey,
the Cosmos, the Cosmos, the Knicks, the Rangers, Knicks, Yankees, the Mets, the Jets, the Giants, and I hate the Giants.
Dude, So let me just I'm gonna level set with the whole crew, right? And because I'm deep diving in Chandler, right? Chandler, when I get passionate about my Niners, because I want to see my team trying to compete, trying
No,
to get there, right?
I just give you
You
crap.
know, I want to see them. I look, like I said, I hate when teams like, oh, we need a linebacker, and we don't sign a linebacker,
I
and
know.
we don't draft a linebacker. That's what we love about Howie Roseman. Howie Roseman, hey, we
Yes.
need a kicker. We're gonna draft a kicker. Or we're gonna sign a kicker. Oh, we need a long snapper. We're gonna get a long snapper. He addresses what the team needs are, right?
Football is different than basketball in this. And serious, you remember this conversation we had years ago about the Portland Trailblazers. And I would tell people the Blazers don't have to be good. They just have to be good enough to keep the fan base engaged in Portland. There are certain fan bases you don't have to win. The Buffalo Bills don't ever have to win a Super Bowl because that fan base is unique. Okay? It's unique. They will fill that stadium whether that team is winning 16 games or 0 games. They're going to fill that stadium. There's only a couple of places like that in the NFL. Buffalo,
Steelers,
Cleveland, maybe sometimes. Buffalo, Cleveland,
New Orleans, Saints,
and New Orleans.
And New Orleans.
And New
They can
Orleans.
suck like
That's
all
it.
hell, and that stadium gonna be packed.
That's it. Exactly. That's it. So everybody else, they have to try to put out a winning product because fans ain't gonna come. Whereas with the NBA, the Knicks, bro.
But
Madison
what
Square Garden is gonna be full,
but
right?
this is what I was trying to go with there, Chandler. The Knicks, like I like the moves that the Knicks made this past
Yeah, but it
season.
doesn't matter. The Knicks can be trash. Madison Square Garden will be full. You know why? Because it's not to go to Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, no, but what I'm saying is from a front office standpoint, I'm okay with my GM addressing needs and making moves to put us in that position.
Okay.
Like the Knicks have made really good moves to at least say that they try. They're not just saying we're gonna stay in pat.
This is the first time they've done that. Probably in
yeah. Dolan was he was. But and I get what you were saying. If you don't win it all, you consider it to be a failure. I don't look at it like that. I look at it like we're swinging for the fence, and I want my team to at least try, at least want to, at least get to that point where you're trying to swing for it.
But you're rooting for a team in a market where the fans aren't gonna come if the team isn't good. That's why your team does what it does because they understand the market they're in. You understand what I'm saying? If they were put it like this, the Green Bay Packers could go 0-16 for the next 5 years. People still gonna go to them damn games. It's the Green Bay Packers.
But it's some fan bases that just like I said, like I literally have gotten into arguments with people, and I tell them every time I'm like, look who got the largest fan base out of any football team in the NFL.
Cowboys.
We're looking at one of them.
Well, the Steelers and the Cowboys.
The Steelers have the largest fan base.
Think about the fact that listen, when I grew up, right, in New York City, right, on Sunday, do you know what team? One of the other team I always had to watch, and there was 2 teams in New York. It was either Pittsburgh or Dallas.
Yeah,
because the Jets will be on the Jets or Giants for the 1 o'clock game, Jets 4 o'clock game. On the other network, it was either Steelers or the Cowboys or the Raiders. That's why if you ever notice, if New Yorkers around my age, they Raider fans, they Steeler fans, and they Cowboy. You're like, how in the hell are you a Cowboy fan from New York? Because that's all we got to watch.
Yeah, but the Steelers have a crazy fan base, and they're gonna come to those games, and they travel and they go to other people's games and sell out their games.
Oh hell yeah!
They'll go to their games and sell them out, like dude. And like I said, hey, why you playing around? The Niners are like that. Niner fans are like that. They'll sell out another team stadium in a minute.
But that's why Mike Tomlin or that's why the Steelers front office can get away with. And I don't want to say get away, but that's why the Steelers front office can. Or the Steelers ownership, let me say ownership, can say this is how we do things. Because the fans are going to show up no matter what. And if I know the fans are going to show up no matter what, I can stick to a specific formula until they stop showing up.
But I think that the Steelers, they do try. They try to address
No, they
needs.
tried,
They just
but they
don't.
have a formula.
Yeah, but they just don't want to get out of that formula. They don't want to. They're not giving up no huge draft capital. They're not overpaying for somebody. They're not doing because like Sirius being quiet as hell. The Steelers was rumored they was gonna sign Mike Williams from jump the money. They didn't
And
want
it
to pay
was
him
a
the
good
money,
signing,
and he took.
except the offensive coordinator didn't want to use him.
But he took the money to go to the Jets. Then they ended up trading for him anyway. But that was the
Yeah.
whole thing. That the Steelers are not going to overpay for somebody because they need that person. They're not
But
going to
if
give
you think
up.
about it, though, what do the Steelers do? In the second round, they draft a wide receiver who turns into a star. Now, usually that wide receiver is also a head case, right?
Yep. Yeah.
And then they get rid of him.
They get rid
draft
of him.
another one second round who turns into a star, who's also a head case. But because there's certain like the Jets haven't drafted a tight end who lasted to a second contract since Mickey Schuler.
But like I say, but they do try to address the needs and they try to swing. They try to put out a product that you feel like they in it to compete. Like,
but some organizations don't know how to do it. Some don't know how to do it.
Yeah, they don't. But like, let me tell you this, right? This is somebody who lives in Houston, who I root for the Texans, right? The Texans, the most fan base was pissed off because they had really good teams. They needed, hey, we need a cornerback because that's the 1 weak leak on the team. Hey, we need a left tackle because that's the 1 weak leak on the team. Hey, maybe we do need a safety. And every year they would have good teams and they never address the weaknesses.
Because that was ownership.
Yes, it's ownership. They would never address, and GM too. They would never address the weakness on the team that could put us
to the stadium.
That could.
Why do I have to address anything if I know the fans are still going to come?
And that's the crazy part, because you get into free agency and people piss because we like, dude, like we get on this show and we talk about it, right? And we'll be on here and we be like, look, this team, they need to be in the draft, O-line, D-line, O-line, 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 free agent, O-line, 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 because that's the weak link of the team. And that could put them in that position to get them where they at, right? Like, I'm going to give them their credit. Like Detroit don't need to sign nobody that ain't on the defense. And they don't need to sign all defensive players, and they need to draft all defensive players.
How many years did it take them to do that? And I'll put it like
this. No, this offseason. That's all they don't even touch that offensive side of the ball at all.
Tennessee Titans need a quarterback. Can we all agree they need a quarterback?
Yes.
Yeah.
They're not drafting a quarterback. They're not. They're not going to draft a quarterback.
Yeah.
We all know they need a quarterback.
Yeah.
They're not going to draft one. Because you know why? Because they know the fans in Tennessee are going to show up no matter what. So guess what? I can play smartest guy in the room now. Well, I know we need a quarterback. I was looking at this defensive end over here, and I think if we get him and we trade back, and then we go get this guy from Southern Mississippi Valley State Agricultural College of the Union Pacific.
He said agricultural.
Because they know if they miss, fans are still showing up. That's the problem with NFL fans is NFL fans show up no matter what. The GM has proven to you he's a clown, right? Jet fans. Proven he's a clown, right? Proven it. Joe Douglas. Proven he's a clown. How many games did the Jet fans not show up for? So why would I have to actually be held accountable and actually have to make the right move? Philly, let Howie Roseman mess up this offseason. Bro, there's a reason they gave Chip Kelly power, right? Because the Philly fans was like, Howie, you done fucked it up. We don't want Howie in charge no more. So they gave Chip Kelly power, and they said, "Oh, Chip Kelly, you got to go." And the owner said, "Oh, damn, the fans about to lynch me.
Dude,
They're about to beat me in the parking lot." So he got Chip Kelly up out of there. There are not a lot of franchises like that.
So now you see why I'm gonna give Lynn some credit, because you got to remember I went through the Chip Kelly bullshit. Yeah, he fucked up my whole team, bro. Like, yeah, bro. Chip Kelly with that, we gotta run the play every 3 seconds, and we gotta get the most plays off, and we gotta turn Colin Kaepernick into a drop back quarterback,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
all that stupid shit that he was doing to my Niners. So I get what it's like to see a bad GM and a bad ownership. And at the end of the day, dude, when you're talking about these teams, only one team can win every year.
Yeah.
Only one team can win. And I want to see my team being competitive. I want to see them, if we're not competitive, I want to see them making moves to get us to be competitive.
No,
And I don't want to see.
But the Niners have been competitive for 20 years, pretty much. Outside of the
Chip Kelly years.
No,
Yeah.
not even Chip Kelly. Before him, Mike Singletary and the guy
Oh,
behind
yeah, the Mike Singletary years. They was
and the
kind
guy
of.
behind him.
I know you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Outside of that particular period, and then when they told Eddie DeBartolo that he was going to jail.
Yeah.
Hey,
the Harbaugh years, I was loving the Harbaugh years. The Harbaugh years was great.
Yeah, and then
like I
said,
decided
he needed to be in charge, all of that.
But no, yeah, we just haven't been able to get over the hump. But only one team can win a year, and I want to see them competing. I want to see them at least trying to win.
Right? I've been a Knicks fan. Like my favorite Knicks player was Glenn Gondrzik. Most people don't know who that is. His daughter's playing WNBA, by the way. Look him up. Glenn Gondrzik, most people outside of his family and me don't know he played the NBA. All right? I'm gonna be honest. That's my guy. Those teams were terrible. Okay? I was a Yankee fan when Rudy May was the best pitcher on the staff. He only won 15 games a year. Look him up. So I understand terrible management. But that's my team. My team.
Hey, man, I got an application over here, man. If you want to do this job interview, I mean, we'll
that. When your team is constantly in contention, I like the fact that the Knicks are constantly in contention right now, right?
Yes.
I'm not.
They've been making some really good moves, dude.
The Rangers. The Rangers used to be in hockey where you went to retire. They gave you a big contract and you did nothing. In the NFL, there's not a lot of teams you can do that on anymore. It used to be more. It's not. The Niners are not one of those teams. The Steelers are not one of those teams. You don't go to the Steelers and be like, it's my last big contract. I'm just gonna ride it out. It's not gonna work, son. Not gonna work.
Nah, bro. You coming to win. And like I said, dude, I like the move. The Knicks did not do typical Knicks stuff. They put themselves in a position, and even if they don't win the championship this year, you can say, look, they tried. They tried.
They're good enough to win. They're good enough to win. They probably won't. But you know what? That's better than, again,
the before.
Albert King being my starting power forward. That's Bernard's brother, by the way, for those who don't know.
Dude.
Right?
Because honestly, the Knicks, when they did the Miles Bridges trade, that's not typical Knicks stuff.
It's not, because that was a smart trade. People don't think it was. Again, I go back to Kenny the Animal Bannister. All right? So when if you look at the Knicks roster, if the Celtics weren't built as well as they are, you could make a case that the Knicks and Cavaliers have the two best rosters in Eastern Conference. Mm-hmm. But the Celtics are just built better.
Bro.
Okay, they just built.
That's almost unfair how that team is built, man.
Wow. And Porzingis again still stays hurt. All you got to do is get Porzingis to the playoffs. Just get him to the playoffs
and get him like 20 minutes in the playoffs. That's all he needs. That's all he needs. He don't even need a full game, and you saw what has happened.
It's crazy because Brad Stevens went from Gonzaga or Butler? Gonzaga, right?
No, Butler.
Yeah, he was a Butler.
He was an overachiever at Butler, right? As a coach with the Celtics, if you think about the Celtics teams he had, he overachieved.
Yeah, but they were pretty good. But they overachieved. Yeah.
But talent-wise, they overachieved, and now he's the GM. That's the guy you want running your franchise. A guy who knows how to pick a guy that other people are looking at. That two-star, so to speak. The guy no one else is recruiting. I say, hey, come here, son. Luke Cornett. Luke Cornett was on the Knicks. They never used him properly. He bounced around. Luke Cornett is an integral part of what the Celtics do. Who would have thought that?
Dude, Peyton Pritchard. Dude, Peyton Pritchard was okay in college. He wasn't like that. He wasn't like I thought he was maybe gonna be G League, maybe overseas or something. He was not that guy to be like that, but he's a like you said, integral part of that team, dude. And it's crazy that you see these teams that make these moves like that. And like I said, Brad Stevens, he's made moves. If you look at him, that built the team, but he also knew when he needed to swing for the fence and make the Holiday trade or make the Porzingis trade.
But even the Holiday trade, Holiday is a guy that would have played at Butler. Pritchard is a guy that would have played at Butler. Cornette is a guy that would have played at Butler. Think about it. Think about the Brad Stevens Butler teams. Those guys could have played for him.
Oh yeah, they was pretty good. You know, I'm a Duke fan, so yeah, we played them. So yeah,
they could have played for him, and they would have gave anybody a run for their money. But come to draft, would anybody even remember their names?
Nah, but like I said, them dudes, unless they had a combine, then they can go through. Hey, let's say a combine, they can go to and show that they can play. You know, see what happens. You know. But yeah, dude, like I said, man, it's we in the initial stages of free agency. I was actually shocked that more people didn't get tagged.
So was I.
Dude,
look, 3 people got tagged, right?
Two.
T.
Higgins and Tracy Smith.
No, Sam Darnold just got tagged.
No, they didn't. They didn't tag. They did not tag Sam Darnold.
No, they didn't tag Sam.
They thought about it and they didn't. They didn't. So Sam is a free agent, and you know what? So we've been talking about this for about an hour and a half now. Yeah. I'm gonna tell y'all this. This is the part that I don't know if y'all looked up. The free agents that are available this year. I'm talking about no tags, none. I mean, you ain't got to give up no draft capital for them.
That's the draft compensation.
Yeah, draft compensation. You don't have to give up nothing because you know it's 2 different tags. It's the full tag and it's the transitional tag. Yep. So the transitional tag, you don't have to give up the first rounds. You just got to work out the deal.
Yeah.
If you look at the list of free agents, it's deep, bro, and you ain't got to give up nothing.
Bro,
it's super deep. Like,
just look at the wide receivers. Just look at the wide receivers,
dude.
I'm looking.
Godwin. Dude, Godwin is a free agent.
Yes. How does he get the free agency?
Straight up free agent. That means you ain't got to pay. You ain't got to give up nothing to get him.
Chris Godwin is a number 1 on 18 of the 30 teams in the league. He's a number 1 receiver.
Chris Godwin's a free agent. Dude, I'll go even further. You know, when you're thinking about premium positions and you talk about like tackle, defensive end, stuff like that, right? And I know people don't really like him because the team he played for. DeMarcus Lawrence is a free agent.
Listen,
I mean, you ain't got to give up nothing.
If I'm Chicago, I don't want Khalil Mack. I want DeMarcus Lawrence.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I go get DeMarcus Lawrence and Khalil Mack because I can get both at a discount.
Yep.
Right? And now, with a new head coach who may or may not be a clown, I think he is, but whatever, I can lean on my defense and my running game. I can really lean on my defense and my running game. Okay? Yep. Washington Commanders, right? You ain't got to go get Myles Garrett. Go get Dexter Lawrence, Khalil Mack, and do what the Giants did with that NASCAR package, and just rotate cats in and out.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy, dude. The Harry Roseman, he gonna have to make some moves too, because a lot of they guys, Josh Sweat, Baum, a lot of they guys are free agent. He gonna probably rework something.
Show up until the playoffs, so he'll be all right. But again, the Eagles, Khalil Mack,
Hassan Reddick, Matt Judon, Preston Smith, the Steelers.
Yeah, it's deep. It's a lot of deep.
That's an outside linebacker alone. If you want to go wide receiver, which I was talking about a minute ago, Devontae Adams, Stephon Diggs, Keenan Allen,
Stephon Diggs, bro. Stephon Diggs is a free agent.
Chris Godwin. You still got DeAndre Hopkins.
Michael Thomas.
Darius Slayton.
I didn't know till today the reason why Amari wasn't playing that much because he was hurt.
Yeah.
That's why he didn't play that much because he was playing hurt.
But also, let's be honest. Amari Cooper, he gives you 8 out of 16 games.
His home waits for the horrible.
But those 8 games he give you are amazing.
Oh yeah, no, those 8 games he gives you the business. But then there's 8 games you like. Did Amari make the trip? Did we leave home? You know, can somebody find him for me?
But I think you got to keep him. You got to keep him engaged. But yeah, the free agency is deep. It's a lot of depth.
If you are smart as a general manager and a head coach, you can get really good really quickly without spending a bunch of money. Michael Thomas ain't gonna cost you much. You know why? He didn't play last season, right? So you can get him on the cheap. DeMarcus Lawrence wants to stay in Dallas. We know Dallas don't pay their players.
They ain't got no money.
Khalil Mack, you can get him relatively cheap. Stephon Diggs, bro, coming off an injury, right? And he's coming off the fact that his character's been assassinated by Buffalo. Listen, there's some cats who are going to outperform their contracts this season that you could get on a 1-year deal with an option, right?
Yeah.
Give them a bunch of money up front so it doesn't really impact your cap. And you could beef up your team so quickly, it's not funny if you sign the right ones.
God, there's so many wide receivers that are available.
Dude,
bro,
that's crazy. It's crazy.
There's no reason the Steelers should not have 3 wide receivers this coming season. Two guys besides George Pickens. Matter of fact,
I'm going to see which one work out and cut the other.
And Chris Godwin should be on the Steelers.
I want Devontae.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Sign one and cut the other.
No, you don't. You know why you don't want Devontae? Because he's a clown, number one. Because the only time he's good is with Aaron Rodgers, because apparently he's into, you know what? I know where I was getting ready to go.
Yep.
Let me say this. You don't want Devontae Adams, but I'm just think about it, serious. Chris Godwin and Michael
Devontae Adams.
Chris Godwin and Michael Thomas next to George Pickens.
I need something next to George Pickens.
Who's going to throw the ball?
If you talk to
Cooper Kupp is out there.
Again, he have to trade for him.
You got to trade for Cooper.
Here's the thing. Yeah. If you talk to my dad, and y'all know I talk to my dad regularly, George Pickens is not going to be on the Steelers roster next year.
I think they should trade him. But you know, I wanted them to trade him for Adams and Jordan Travis so you get your quarterback in the future.
Yeah. But anywho, before we get out of here, gentlemen, we had a fight that took place on Saturday.
I want the XTK. Did he want to talk about it, man?
Hey, I did watch it after the fact, bro.
Here we go. Go ahead, CK. You can go first.
Gentlemen.
For those of y'all that are not old enough to remember Hagler Hearns, this was the closest I've seen. Go YouTube Marvin Hagler and Tommy Hearns.
That was a good fight.
Go YouTube it. This was the closest I've seen of two guys who stood in the center of the ring and just traded bombs for the entire fight. Until, of course, and we'll get to Javante doing what he did, because that should have been ruled a knockdown. He should have lost the fight.
He got that on the knee. Yeah, that's what.
Outside of that, this is the best fight I've seen probably in 20 years. Easily.
Dude.
Easily.
Go ahead, Tim.
This was two dudes who basically put their foot out. Other one put his foot out. And their toes was touching, and they stood there and just went. Man, bro, that was fight of the year. That was fight of the year for me. That was fight of the year. Go ahead, Larry.
Yeah, so far I was like, yeah. But you know what? I'll tell you, CK, and I want you to go back and look at it, dude. The Russell Venezuela fight was the drag out fight of that card. That fight was the drag out fight, toe to toe, bombs, dudes almost getting knocked out. Venezuela was almost gone at least twice, and Russell got rocked a couple of times too, but that was the drag out fight. But the Roach and Davis fight, that's what I love about boxing, man. You have a guy like Roach come in, and people are like, oh, he's gonna be outclassed. Oh, Gervonta's just knocking everybody out. You don't know what you're gonna get from one of these guys that's coming up. That's why they call up and comers. You don't know if they're gonna be the guy who's gonna rise up or fold. That dude rose to the occasion. He was able to even take Gervonta punches. He was like, hey, look, yeah, you got me. I'm gonna get you right back. You gonna hit me with one, I'm gonna hit you with two. And it was, like I said, it was literally like CK said, one of the best fights of the year. The only stain on it is that was a knockdown.
It was.
And even if you take a knee, the punch led to you taking the knee, and you it should have been counted that point. And that point,
it's got to be disqualified when you go to your corner.
Yes, he could still hit you. That's the rule about boxing. You have to protect yourself at all times. Yes. He could have still hit you, but you took the knee, and then you saying that it's because of the grease in your hair. No, it wasn't. It was the punch.
Look at his ear. Look at his ear. How red his ear is. His ear is bleeding. He's bleeding from. Oh my God.
It was the punch. It was the punch, and that's why you took the knee. There we go, right there.
Right there.
You took the knee. You took the knee. That should have been the point. But that's just tell you how good the fight was. That literally the only thing that decided the fight would have been that point.
Yes.
That one point. That's how good the fight was.
Yeah.
So yeah, dude, it was one of those fights that it was just so close, so good. It was, look, me and TK, we watch boxing. It's rare that you find a fight that these guys will fight from the outside, but hell, they got in the pocket too. Hey, they got in the pocket, and they was willing to trade on the inside. And you rarely see guys that will get and fight in the inside with a puncher like Gervonta.
Yeah,
that was a really good fight. I hope that they do the rematch. But yeah, dude, that was one of the fights.
It's in the contract. It's in the contract. And if you've never done close quarters combat, you don't understand how much courage it takes to stand in front of somebody knowing that they're going to dig into your ribs, that they're going to hit you so hard that the breath is going to leave your body. Okay? The breath is going to leave your body. All right? And you got to stand there and wait for it to come back in, right? While they're hitting you again so that you can hit them. The courage it takes to do that. While I'm looking you in the eye, right? Knowing you're going to hurt me. You're going to hurt me. It's not a thing where I don't feel it. No, trust me, they feel it. That's a level of pain that can't be described. But I'm willing to stand there and take that pain so I can give you that same pain.
Hey, CK, and I'll give his corner that he never got away from the body. He kept going back to Gervonta body, and it was weighing on him. It was weighing on him big. And if you look at those last couple of rounds, he was breathing deep because them body shots was weighing on him.
Listen, bro. Yeah, dude. After the fight, they were laying in bed. They couldn't turn over. Right.
Bro, I literally got into an argument with one of my friends because he was like, "Oh man, it was the heck." I said, "No, it was the jab." Because when a guy's throwing that jab at you, and what happens is people forget to realize, like CK say, he's punching in your eye. So even if he punched you in your eye, you might have seen 2 or 3 of them at one point, but it was the punch that led to you taking the knee. Because the jab hit you squarely in your eye.
Over and over. Larry Holmes became the heavyweight champion of the world with a jab. Because I'm just going to keep, it's a piston. Bam, bam, bam.
In your face.
Bro, I'm tired of you punching me in the face.
In your face. And like I said, that was one of the best fights.
Yes.
I hope that we keep seeing them. It's actually a really big card coming to New York soon. There's some pretty good fights on there. But hey, so I'm gonna veer off a little bit. I know we kind of all over the place. So this is what I think that's upsetting people about the NBA. because you see now these guys are going into these leagues and they're saying, okay, it's a problem. People not coming back out. The viewership is down. We losing money. What do we do to fix it? Right. So we do. I don't know about you guys. NHL. I was watching the hockey game the other day. Y'all saw I was in the chat, dude.
Yep.
Hockey. They piggyback on the four nations, and they have been doing an amazing job with the scheduling, the promotions, everything. Right. Boxing. People was like, oh, everybody's going to see UFC no more. Boxing's dead. Take somebody from Saudi, come in here and say, you know what? We're gonna revive boxing. What we're gonna do is you need to have the best people fighting the best people. We need not these cards where you go into the card and there's one good fight on the card. Nobody wants to watch the undercards. Nobody wants to see them because you're gonna watch. Seriously, we're gonna give you an education. Me and CK, we boxing fans, dude. When you go to a boxing match, they're literally like unknowns that show up at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon and start fighting.
Yeah,
right?
Mhm.
The guys
that's a nice day if you can do it.
Yeah, but there are literally guys that show up that early and start fighting. They don't get no television coverage, and they part of the cards, right?
Mhm.
And some people, they may have like one, maybe two other fights on there, and people will show up maybe around them if they real big fight fans, if they purist fight fans. But they are putting together these cards that literally you have to turn them on at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon because the fifth card, the fifth fight before the main event is damn near would have been a main event 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah,
It,
yeah.
Like, I always mess up how they say it, but Rada season, he literally had a card 2 months ago with all 6 fights that were on the main card were all for belts.
Yeah,
all 6. Like, yeah, dude, like the NBA is gonna have to do something because when you're talking about viewership, it's other people coming for him and they seeing how to fix it.
the problem is these players don't want to do research.
No,
Players don't want to do research. They don't. The players in the 90s and 80s that everybody wants to keep criticizing, say, "Well, you glorified people 40 years ago." They knew the history of the game. They knew that the guys that came before them got criticized about the guys that came before them, and they got criticized about the guys that came before them. Going back to the guys that literally were shooting in peach baskets, which is how basketball started. James Naismith, Canadian, right? And he got criticized. They're like, "Why are you shooting the ball into a peach basket? What the hell is wrong with you?" Okay. Jordan was called the loser. Michael Jordan was called the loser, and people said you will never win with him. Do the research. What was said. Tragic Johnson. You'll never win with him because he doesn't have a jump shot. Charles Barkley, fat bastard. You'll never win with him because he's a fat bastard who won't stay out the clubs. Moses Malone was dumb. This is what was written in the newspapers. I'm not saying anything that I'm thinking or heard somebody say. This was what was written in the papers that everybody read. That Moses Malone was unintelligent and dumb. That you couldn't win with him because he was dumb. Okay? Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, for all of his talent, was aloof and arrogant and uppity. Uppity is the word they used. Okay? To criticize him. Okay? Kareem Abdul-Jabbar has never gotten the credit he deserves because he was an uppity Negro who was advocating for racial justice. All right? This is what they went through. For these players who say, "Oh, we get criticized too much." This is what they went through. All right? Michael Jordan got blamed for the death of his father. Let me be clear let me say that again. For those of you who actually know your fathers and love your fathers, imagine being blamed if your father gets killed. Imagine hundreds of thousands, millions of people saying you're at fault for his death. That's why Michael Jordan left basketball, by the way. That's why he left. Because he was being blamed for his father's death because they said it was because of his gambling. So all you players and you kids in high school and all this, they don't talk about us. Look, they talk about us like they didn't talk about them. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Because see, they went in on people's families. They talked about your family history and your brother who's a drug addict. That was a front page news. That's the problem with these players right now. They think they're unique. You're not unique.
No, and dude, the crazy part about it is like, dude, remember I keep saying it, dude, you inviting the sharks into the water because if you got a Javante Davis fight and the card is like that, and then you got Saturday primetime NBA game on, which one you think people gonna want to watch? Yep. They're gonna go watch the fight. You know, people don't want to.
Seriously. Because I've never understood this. And maybe it's just because I'm an asshole. I don't know. Why do you care what some online person says that you will never meet, who's not paying your fucking bills, who you're not sleeping with? Why do you care what they think? Sensitive. I don't understand that. Sensitive. I don't understand it. Oh, I'm being bullied online. How are you being bullied online? There's someone you're never gonna meet who says something nasty. So what?
But CK, you know what I'm gonna say about this, dude? And this is, I think you kind of going there a little bit because they so scared of criticism. They so scared of, you know, what people say, to where when people are genuinely saying the product, people don't like all of the 3-pointers, the no defense, all of the, they don't even want to address the problem. They don't. Like, they feel like it's not a problem.
Why are you worried about what strangers are saying about you? Because guess what? I'm not a religious person. They criticized Jesus, last I heard.
But I'm saying it's not. I get what you're saying about the criticism, but sometimes there is some truth in that. And the NBA, dude, I'm telling you, dude, if Barry was on, remember Barry was talking about like All-Star game viewership. People are like, why do I even want to watch that? The players don't care. Why do I want to watch it? Dude, I'm gonna be real with you. It's almost to the point some NBA games are damn near unbearable to watch.
Yeah.
I'm just being for real.
But their excuse is
stop talking about my Rockets like that, sir.
But
look, hey, they not unbearable. They just give me a damn heart attack over here, bro.
Yeah, that's the conversation. But their excuse is, well, we tired of being criticized. But you're being criticized by nameless, faceless people.
But you're also being criticized because of the stuff that you're doing.
Faceless people have to say.
But they also being criticized for the stuff that they're doing. Like, dude, if you can't handle criticism, then that's a big problem. And I think that they can't handle criticism because, dude, I'm gonna tell you real talk, dude. If people were criticizing the game because they say y'all shoot too many threes, what are we gonna do about it? They don't even want to sit down and talk with the league office because they feel like the more points I score, the more money I'm gonna get. When they don't realize that the more people that actually come and watch the game, the more viewership is where your money is coming from.
With that, and you know, Sirius and I were on Twitter when Twitter was Twitter, right? When it was really a black Twitter, right? Mm-hmm. The whole nigga Navy thing, which was hilarious, by the way. I'll never forget that. And the whole I'll meet you in Temecula thing, where two cats was actually trying to meet each other in Temecula to fight, right?
I heard the story.
Okay. I was on Twitter then, bro. I was big on Twitter then. I've never understood, though. Then people criticize the hell out of it. Bro, call me everything but a child of God. It never mattered to me because I kept thinking, I'm never going to see you. What you say about me doesn't fucking matter.
I get that.
Why does it matter what a stranger says about you online? Why does it matter to you?
Chandler, I get that, but you know where I'm gonna go? I'm gonna go back to your engineering brain. If it was something wrong with that product, CK wasn't signing off on it. CK was like, I'll be damned. I'm not signing off on it.
Some stranger to tell me that.
But if something wrong with the product, you're gonna fix the product, right? You're not gonna put out a bad product.
But here's the thing: if somebody who wasn't in my field criticized me, you know what I said to him? Then come do my job.
And I get it.
I'd
I
be like,
totally
oh
get
my
it.
God, he called me names, and then he said, you know what I was doing. I don't care what you think. Who the hell are you?
Yeah, but I get what you're saying, CK. But I'm gonna say from an outsider's perspective, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna say from us because we're not NBA players, right?
Keep seeing my moves. Sorry.
If you see you, because I look at it from like the type of work that I do. We look at identifying the problem. Of course,
Okay.
you got to find out what the root is, whether it's from the customer's perception, whether it's whatever you do polls or you do analysis to see what are people mainly complaining about. If they are complaining about the no defense, then now we have to start addressing it. And I get it. Like the league has came out. Remember, which guy he said it? Yeah, maybe we made the rules too easy where there's no defense. But the players, they don't even want to play defense. They don't want rules in place to say we need to have more defense because this is what our fans are asking for. Because, like I said, in their mind, the more points I score, the more money I'm gonna get.
But see, maybe it's the military mindset in me. You should have known that before anybody told you.
They should have, and they should know that. Like, dude, this is what.
See, it shouldn't take somebody that's not in my field to tell me that I'm not doing my job properly.
And you know what? You just hit it on the head, dude. It should not take everybody that's in media, fans online, all this stuff to tell y'all that the NBA All-Star game is literally trash. It's a glorified, it ain't even a shoot around. It's
trash. It's nothing.
A horse game.
It's trash.
That's why I love Kobe. When Kobe Bryant D'd up LeBron, he's like, no, bro, this is a game. We playing. This is not us playing horse. And they should have known that. They something cognitively should have told them we hear all these rumors and we're still doing it. And you know what they keep doing year over year over year? Going back out and doing the same thing. Like
we gotta let Sirius go because the babies are keeping them up.
Hey, look. Hey, no, wait. You know what I'm saying,
bro? He's sitting like that.
I gotta say this because I know Sirius is gonna let you go first, right? I gotta say this.
Go first.
Because I know Sirius, he have his little method to his madness over here, right? Dude, I love saying method to madness, right? Sirius, no, that's my fantasy team name, method to my madness. Look, hey, I gotta say this, man. We talked about it in the chat. They was like, look, if we give CK and Larry's own show, I don't know how many dumb buttons I'm gonna have. We gonna look. Sirius has literally said back tonight, anybody watching the show, and he's let me and CK have our show tonight. Hey, look, hey, it's been the CK and LT show tonight, bro. Hey, I don't know how many times he gonna hit the dumb button tomorrow, bro. But me and CK, we did. Hey, CK, me and you, bro, we here, bro. We here. We did it tonight.
See, I started out nice. I spoke to Barry's mom, and I said hello to her sister. How you
doing? And what did we say in the chat? We was like, man, he said, nah, if you put them two together, it might start off right, but it's gonna go.
And Barry, don't you drive your punk ass out here. All right. I know your sister married. I'm just saying hello.
Right? Oh God. Anyway, gentlemen, with that being said, let's get you guys out of here. CK, you know what to do, my guy. It's just straight for me, man.
Summer's coming, by the way.
Oh Lord Jesus.
No. And you know what? Tonight was great, man. I'm just gonna. We talk about a lot of stuff on the show. There are times I struggle with things. Tonight was one of those nights. In years past, I wouldn't have showed up tonight. I would have went out and made a lot of bad decisions and wound up fucking up a lot of things. That's why I love doing this with these guys, because I can come to them and say, you know what, I'm ready to go out and destroy my life. And they can be like, you know what, just sit your ass down and talk sports. And it helps me. It keeps me going forward. It keeps me on the path.
You said kind of on the path.
Kind of, you know what I'm saying? And there's 22 veterans commit suicide every day. And the correlation to that is you don't always have to say you're about to kill yourself. You can ask for help with your friends by just saying, you know, I feel like screwing up tonight. I feel like doing something stupid. You can just be honest and say, you know what, I'm struggling and I want to go out and smoke crack. And they'll be like, why would you want to do that, dumbass? And you'd be like, I don't know. Okay, well, sit your ass down. It's not that it's hard, but it's not that hard. Just say, I need some help. It's not hard to say I need some help. It's hard to accept the help, but it's not hard to say I need some help. So 22 veterans commit suicide every day. 22. 22 veterans don't have to commit suicide every day. Because you can just say to somebody, you know what, I'm struggling right now. You can say it to anybody. Or you call 988, hit option 1, and there's somebody on the phone to tell you, okay, well, all right, I get that you want to do that, but, and see, everything that comes after but can save your life. It's funny how that works. So, move a muscle, change your thought, say yes to life. I'm out.
Thank you so much, CK, man. I tell you what, man, this show has morphed into more than just sports for a lot of people. CK, I've known that guy's 10 plus years. When he tells you that there were moments where he would just go out and just wild out, he ain't exaggerating, man. So shout out to him for popping on and just just doing him. There are moments when I, as a facilitator, as a point guard, have to step back and just let stuff go. You know what I'm saying? And I felt it early on. And y'all heard me tonight. I just sat back and just let it go. And you never know what type of help that could be for somebody. So again, safe space here for CK and many others that are part of this network. Larry, talk to me, my guy, man. Get us out of here.
I mean, I look, man. Hey, look. So people don't be realizing is that, man, me and Unc literally have crazy 3-hour conversations like off the network. And he know me. If he's struggling, I told him, I say, dude, I'm in the earlier time zone. Call me up, man. We'll chop it up. We'll get into some crazy conversations about not just sports. We talk about life. We talk about a lot of stuff. And he know, man, this show is actually a little therapeutic for him. Every time I can trigger him and get him to go nuclear, I told him that's when you're gonna remember it tomorrow. We know he's dealing with his dementia, but every time we get his blood pressure up and get him worked up, he remembers the next day. So hopefully we can just keep him from having a heart attack over there or something. But we're gonna keep working on it. But yeah, dude, it's always been a pleasure, man. It's like I think we mentioned it on the show, and I guess a lot of people like it. This is us, people. This ain't no game. This ain't no act. This is us. The on camera, off camera. This is how we interact. This is how we are. Like I mean, hey, we might fight like brothers in the next minute. Be like, man, you know what? We good, bro. We gonna talk about this. We gonna move on. We gonna do this and do that. And just like he picked with me about people last name Shanahan, and I said Shanahan. Just like that, I might pick with him about his Jets and stuff like that. So it's all love here, man. And we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna keep things moving, keep things going. If y'all haven't checked out that Launchpad show, definitely check it out. Hey, I caught some of the WWE show. Yo, y'all keep that momentum going. We're gonna keep everything going. I know y'all later. I ain't gonna even try to repeat what Coach say because I fucked it up last time. And look, we're gonna keep holding it
God
down.
is good.
Yeah, I ain't gonna do all that. We know God is good. We're gonna leave it at that. And I'm gonna just say this: we're gonna keep holding it down to Coach's back, to Barry's back, to everybody's back, and we're gonna just keep the momentum going. I'm out.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, Larry, man. Pleasure sharing the space with you, man. Always leave like this, man. It's your boy Sears repping that 412 on the 703, man. it's a privilege and a pleasure to do this show with these gentlemen. Again, I wouldn't picture doing this show with any other group, man. We had some guys out today due to various reasons, and yet Larry and Chandler, they had a session. So shout out to them for being able to do that. Shout out to my friends over at Nonsense Deep Thoughts Podcast. Looking forward to our continued partnership with those guys. Stacy, who's out in Tennessee, jumping on with us, and we got some other stuff that is brewing. Normally I say God is good, and all that type of stuff, but shout out to my friend Terrence, his family, his loved ones, unexpected passing away on Sunday. One of the biggest 49er fans that I know. We worked together at a place of business, and unfortunately passed away suddenly. Life is fragile, and unfortunately he lost his. He was never married, but did have some kids that are now having to deal with his passing, man. Rest in peace to my man Terrence. Gonna miss you, my guy. With that being said, God bless. Catch you guys on the next one.